do, but ooh. As we wait for the stream to go live, let me turn that TV down. Okay, and we are totally good there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another hopefully riveting and exciting stream. I'm being joined by my good friend Josh. What's up, buddy?
Whack.
Well, okay, so I guess it's Josh pretending to
Hi
be.
guys.
It's like Josh pretending to be Duck. That's always cool. Oh boy. So, funny story before we get really going here. I did something like 30 seconds before I started streaming I really should not have done because that was absolutely disgusting.
You're still on about the fucking pinky, aren't you?
Dude!
Just let it go,
You
Emer.
see it every week, too, because he always has to interview players and he talks with his hands like he's... Oh my god. For those of you who don't know, and if you're curious about what I'm like on about, there's a former Packer player who works for the Packers radio network, the Packers television network, and his name is Larry. His name is Larry McCarran. Go ahead and do a Google search on Larry fucking McCarran hand, and see that jacked up pinky that he broke during a game when he was still playing. That he didn't reset and it healed all fucked up. Anyway, beyond that, what's new, dude?
Beyond that, nothing.
Aren't you happy that you never broke your finger? Or have you broken a finger?
I have never broken a single bone in my body.
Oh, I have. I broke my ankle once. That was like 20 years ago, too, man. That fucking...
How'd you do that?
I walked on an uneven patch of sidewalk and my ankle kind of rolled.
Oh,
Funny
so
story. Oh, go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound nearly as dramatic as I was hoping.
No. It wasn't fucking like I was like running after a mugger and I broke my ankle doing... No. I was walking...
I expect this epic tale.
I was walking to the post office to check our mail because we had a P.O. box at the time, and I stepped on two slabs of concrete on the sidewalk that weren't quite even, and my ankle fucking rolled. What's weird about that is that was the first and only time I've ever broken anything. Or, well, it wasn't even a full-blown break as much as it was just like a fracture. Oh, wait, yeah, and since we're talking, I guess I can get rid of that please fucking stand fucking by image. Anyway, so when that happened, everything got really dark, everything got really quiet. And I remember, like, stumbling around a little bit, somebody walked up and asked if I needed any help, and I, like a fucking moron, said, no, I'm fine. And then I walked home. Walked home like the quarter of a mile, half mile, whatever the hell, on a fractured ankle. And we lived upstairs. We lived on like the second floor of this building. So I had to crawl up those stairs because I was in so much goddamn pain. It sucked.
Requesting medical attention would not nearly have been hardcore enough, obviously.
Well, no. See, I honest to God, just thought that I had like sprained it. It wasn't until like 3 days later when I finally got to, a doctor's office that they said, yeah, you fractured it.
Oh.
I honestly thought it was just like a sprain. It was nothing big. I was able to fucking walk on it, for Christ's sake. I didn't think it was anything big.
And I was walking down the street one day.
So, how about that Black Lives Matter movement, huh?
Oh, for fuck's sake, are we really gonna go there?
I need to discuss this, because,
Okay.
you see, because I've seen these protests and all this other stupid shit happen in a lot of parts of the country. I saw what they did in Minnesota. I saw what they did elsewhere. This was the first time that their special brand of bullshit hit my state. And it pissed me off. For those of you who don't know, the story is about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, two guys, black guys, robbed a business. I believe it actually was a friggin' African. It was owned by African fucking Americans. They robbed this place, and they then proceeded to go into a high-speed chase with the cops. Then these two decided to ditch the fucking car and run, and they ran in different fucking directions. One cop decided to chase after this one guy who was armed, and he apparently had his gun out. If witness testimony is anything to go by, I still haven't seen the body cam footage, so I can't really verify that. The cop apparently told him to stop. The cop told him to drop his weapon. He did neither, so the cop shot him. Justifiably so. This led to racial riots in Milwaukee. Amongst the memorable footage that I saw was a gas station set on fire with a bunch of black people standing around it all chanting Black Power, Black Power while this gas station burns. Because they are talking about equality, and Black Lives Matter means that Black Lives Matter too, not just Black Lives Matter, period. And the other one, there were a few others. Another one was a guy was being interviewed, I think it was on like CNN or something, and he mentioned that this honestly wouldn't happen if rich people didn't, hoard all of their money and, give a little to the African American community.
I don't think that has anything to do with anything at
I know.
all. What
I
you
know.
just said.
But this guy, honest to God, said that it essentially is because rich folk are not giving money to us, black folk. That basically was his reasoning, which is the stupidest reasoning you could ever, give. I'm going to say that right now.
He does realize that most people just handed money. They generally have to work for it at some point or stage. I just feel like, that would be a point, to bring up or something. But that's just me. I don't know anything. I try to stay out of this kind of crap.
See, and I'm just going to sum it up this way. I believe that this entire movement is just fucking cancerous, and the sooner that it just goes, and the sooner that it goes the fuck away, the better. That's really, mind you, I am all for fucking quality. I believe that all lives matter, fucking regardless of your race, your gender, your sexual preference, whatever the fuck, everybody is equal. But I kind of sort of look fucking down on people who set fire to businesses while chanting Black Power. I would do the same thing if it was a bunch of white guys who were chanting White Power. I would do the same thing if it was a bunch of natives screaming on about native fucking pride. It's the same shit. It's stupid, racist horse shit, and it has to stop.
Because honestly, the KKK used to set fires to businesses and chant White Power, and
yes,
that wasn't okay. So I don't feel like this should be okay either. Damn it.
And somebody here posted in the chat, remember hashtag Tumblr lives don't matter. I am almost willing to say yes. Unfortunately, I have friends who use fucking Tumblr. It'd probably be seen as something mean if I said, yes! Fuck all of them Tumblr assholes! No, just fuck most of them, because most of them are disgusting. What is the worst trailer you've ever seen? I guess they mean worst movie, trailer.
And there'll be an airport with tornadoes.
Oh god, that fucking thing. That one there was when you saw God. Now that was when both of us saw God fucking Zilla,
Yes,
right? Yeah, that was what the hell was the name of that movie? Wasn't it like After the Storm or something like that?
I don't know, something fucking stupid.
And it was basically like Cloverfield meets Twister. And it was stupid. Oh, and we have one last thing here about Black Lives Matter. Somebody else posted in the chat, Black Lives Matter equals the clan with the tan. Dude, that's perfect. Somebody actually has to make that like a t-shirt. I will fucking wear that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other just absolutely abhorrently terrible trailers I've seen. Well, that first trailer for Ghostbusters was pretty bad. That first one for the 2016 Ghostbusters was kind of shit. I certainly wouldn't say it's the worst trailer I have ever seen. But it definitely sucked. It is really hard to think of just bad... It is really hard to just think of just bad trailers, because I usually focus more on how bad the movies are.
Yeah, I could give a crap about the trailers, generally speaking.
Granted, there are some trailers out there that you look at them now and they're just fucking hilarious. Like, there was a movie made, I think it was made back in the 60s, and it was a movie called My Baby is Black.
We need to stop talking about Black Lives Matter.
I am. I'm just saying, like, and they play it up as this ultra, like, dramatic thing. It's like, so she fucked a black dude. And? What about that Unfriended trailer? Okay, there we go. I think, yeah. I tried to block that rotten thing out of my mind.
A lot of bad trailers are the result of the movie being bad, you know?
Well, you see, though, I kind of think that Unfriended is kind of sort of in a league of its own, because most movies don't go out of their way to spoil the entire butt fucking movie in the trailer.
True.
Because if you look at Unfriended, which the whole thing is just a Skype call for 90 minutes.
Yes.
So you can tell exactly what order people are going to fucking die, because suddenly they are no longer
in the Skype call. Plus, that movie didn't have that many moments because it's just one Skype call. They couldn't have that many people in it or else it would get claustrophobic.
You only have like 5 or 6 people total, and like...
Yeah, so there weren't that many kills or anything, so like... Yeah, I mean... Damn it.
What is your preferred Pokemon team? I think they mean Pokemon Go.
No, I think they mean regular Pokemon.
Well, we can easily do both.
Well, is there a... Oh! Does he mean... Oh, yeah, Pokemon Go team, I guess. The teams in the...
Yeah.
Right, I thought he meant... Well, yeah, we can do both.
Yeah, we can totally do both. Especially since then we can talk about how my team is awesome and your team is full of wankers and shitheads, but hey, that's just me. I'm not calling you a wanker or a shithead, I'm just saying... Your team
barely exists. Fight me.
Okay, first of all...
Fight me!
Instinct is awesome, you shut up. And Valor's blue, right?
Valor's red.
Oh yes, blue is Mystic.
Fucking Mystic.
I will say that we can both easily say that we are both happy that we are not Mystic.
Yes, high five.
Hell yeah. Solidarity because fucking Mystic sucks. As for regular Pokemon, who's your favorite team from the regular Pokemon games?
I'm trying to think of my current team right now. I switch it. I have a lot of EV trained Pokemon, so I switch it around a lot.
Oh, see, I thought they meant team as in like Team Rocket, Team Magma, Team Plasma.
Oh,
Team
God
Galactic.
damn it! Yeah, what the hell? Val and Summers, What do you mean?
Because if we honestly are talking about, like, the villain teams, then you have to go with you have to go with the tried and true. You have to go with the classic. You gotta go with Team fucking Rocket.
Yeah, although I'm kind of interested in the new Team Skull because their style is edgy as fuck.
Oh, yes. Yes,
They're Team Skull.
and they probably have a blood red. Oh, they probably have a blood red Omega class Death Note, which is owned by a death god named Blood,
They eat blood bananas.
with a mohawk made of blood and skulls.
Oh, we still have to keep reading that because everyone loved it.
Oh God, yes, we totally fucking do. Someone here's asking if I'm going to be streaming the Packers game. No, I actually am just going to be watching it, and I'll probably comment on it if anything of interest happens. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd get in trouble for streaming the actual game.
But since it's fucking preseason, doesn't really matter. It's fucking preseason anyway.
They still want their ad revenue.
True.
Anyway, he meant 6 Pokemon team.
You see, that there is sort of the thing is, I really don't have like set in fucking stone. I gotta have these 6. I usually go for whatever the hell I can get my hands on at that time.
I am more specific. I go for certain Pokemon. The 2 that I know, I switch it up. As like I said, I have quite a few EV trained Pokemon, so I go back and forth. But consistencies are I always have an Umbreon for usually defensive as a wall, and then I actually have 2 different Flareons I use. One's special attack and one's regular attack. I switch back and forth between them, but I always have a Flareon and an Umbreon. Then I have a Dragonite that I usually have. I have an Absol for Mega Evolution as a sweet. I have a Galvantula.
A what?
A Galvantula.
The fuck is that?
Generation 5, it's a giant spider that is an electric bug.
Oh, okay. I think I may have seen that one. I just didn't remember the name.
And then I'll sometimes have a Pidgeot. But then on the flip side, again, some other I like I said, I swap things around. So I have a Nidoqueen on the back burner sometimes. My Nidoqueen is actually pretty boss. I actually absolutely Duck came to visit a few months ago, and we played Pokemon, and I absolutely destroyed his one team with just my Nidoqueen. It was hilarious. He didn't have anything to do anything that could deal with it.
So let me think about like fucking Pokemon that I always try to get on my team. Like, I usually try to get, if I can find it in the game I'm playing, Aerodactyl. I will throw into my team every time. That's just basically like a no questions. Aerodactyl, Gyarados. I have to have a fucking Gyarados. That's just, and specifically, I have to train it from a fucking Magikarp, or else it doesn't feel, right. You know what I mean?
That top percentage splash, yo.
See, so that is why when I bought a 2DS, I actually bought a 2DS recently because I was playing so much Pokemon Go, I'm like, I really want to play an actual Pokemon game.
But a 2DS?
Because it's cheaper.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Because 2DSs, dude, are like $79. It's better than like the...
Right. My son has a 2DS. I got it.
2DS is a nice little, system.
But that's because he is 3, and I, foresaw problems with an actual 3DS.
Yes, and I'm cheap, so I bought a 2DS. that, and I don't fucking use the 3D, like, ever. Because it's fucking pointless. It's a stupid goddamn gimmick that should never have been there, so...
It's really been downplayed a lot more. I barely use it on mine.
And I got, what is that? I think it's Omega Ruby. And I caught a fucking Magikarp, like, I think it was like a level 12 Magikarp. And instead of just going, no, I am going to wait until I catch like a 19 and then just boost it. No, I I fucking moded the shit out of that Magikarp. Until I got it up to Gyarados, and now I think it's like level like 25 or something. Unfortunately, I really haven't been playing a lot of Pokemon because I've been playing Project fucking Cross Zone 2 and Fire Emblem Fates, so... Fire Emblem Fates makes me kind of sad.
Why?
Well, you see, because I knew that there were 2 different versions of the game.
There's actually 3, but go on.
Yeah, there's technically 3, but, you know, retail there's 2. For the most part. Anyway, I was looking at the covers. I'm like, so do I want to be with the cool-looking badass, like, medieval knights, or do I want to be with a bunch of fucking weeaboos? I'm going to side with the knights, and then the story kicks in. It's like, I hate these people.
Oh, I know, right? Nor is so fucking destructive.
Like, Nor is just toxic. And I'm like, can I please pick, you know, the other side? Oh, you need to throw down a $30 DLC pack for that. It's like, then I guess I'm stuck with the knights.
And Nor is actually also way harder.
Yes, it is, because I actually am up to I'm up to like this one mission where you gotta hold out, where you basically have to hold out on this dock until like turn fucking 11. And it's like,
oh god, that fucking dock!
Oh fuck that dock!
Took me forever.
Plus side is
bullshit.
Plus side is that I found out that my favorite character is with you no matter which side you take.
Who?
Felicia.
You would like Felicia. Doesn't surprise me at all.
What do you mean, dude? Felicia's fucking awesome.
No. I love Felicia. Like that is so not a problem. I'm just so not surprised by that.
How exactly are you not surprised by that?
Emer, I've known you long enough to know your type. And Felicia is so your type.
My type?
Yes.
Okay.
Just the kind of characters and women you tend to be into.
Yeah, see, and when I was playing the game, I saw that one chick from Nor with the giant fucking titties. I'm like, yep, that's totally fucking Josh's.
You know, it's the part of the conversation where I would attempt to defend myself. I specifically got Nor because of her, so fuck you.
Well, there we go.
But she is not my favorite character, nor is she the one. Nor is she the one I decided to romance.
Yeah, see, I actually decided to romance Felicia for obvious reasons.
I romanced Azura.
Azura was actually like was actually my second pick. I was like, if I can side with the weeaboos, I'm going to go with her because she's there.
Like it was hard for me to pick the first time, but I'm like, damn it, because Azura's just so my type, you know? Like,
well, she honestly is just so peaceful and serene, and that's awesome. So, the game though is certainly fun. I just got Project fucking Cross Zone 2 yesterday, and that's pretty good. Have you played any of the Cross Zone games, Josh?
No.
Are you familiar with them at all?
No.
Okay, so Project Cross Zone, I want you to imagine Fire Emblem, or like a Fire Emblem style tactical RPG, but it's like the most ridiculous, massive crossover ever. As the games feature characters from Capcom, Bandai, Sega, and in this one, Fire Emblem. In Cross Zone 2, they actually have Chrom and Lucinda from Fire Emblem Awakenings.
Wait, Lucinda.
Or what the fuck? Like what?
Oh,
was
Lucia. Okay.
Lucia. That's For some reason I got the name fucked up. So.
I was like, what the fuck is?
So, basically, to sum it up, in Cross Zone 2, so far I have a team which is made up of characters from Resident Evil, Yakuza, Dot Hack. Oh fuck. Phoenix Wright. God, I'm trying to remember the other ones now. Let's see. Shinobi. Virtua Fighter. Street Fighter is going to have a couple in there at some point. Mega Man X is going to get repped. You know, and In the first game, at one point, I was commanding an army of at least 50 fucking characters. And in the first game, that was everybody from, like, X and Frank West, just tons of different characters. Like, it is like the biggest, like, fanboy crossover thing ever. Lucina.
Lucina. Okay, I'm dumb. Damn it.
Okay, one question here is, Emer, do you like Devil May Cry? I have a bit of a confession to make.
Oh, crap.
I've never played a Devil May Cry game in my entire life.
I've played all of them.
Now, I remember when I did that challenge for me covering the other two My Little Pony movies, I had this small, like, wish list of PS4 games. I promised I would stream them. There's still two of them I still have to do a stream of. One of them is Dishonored. The other one is DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's one of the good ones, despite what the fan base seems to think.
I was just about to say, like, after I put that on the list, I got, like, messages from people going, "Oh God, why that one?"
Everyone, like, they didn't like the fact that the game was rebooted, but the game itself is actually really fun.
But isn't it still the same gameplay? If so, then who the fuck cares if it's been rebooted?
That's actually one of my major arguments. Like this really isn't like it. They added a couple new things with new weapons and stuff, but ultimately it boils down to the same basic mechanics, which were established in Devil May Cry 4, which is also one of the good ones. So, fight me.
Somebody else is saying do a live stream of the Friday the 13th game. I probably will as soon as I get it. Because I chipped in on that fucking Kickstarter and I'm kind of excited for it.
I thought the PS4 version of DMC came with Devil May Cry 4, didn't it?
No. I don't think so. I would probably have to go and check. Actually, I'm going to do it this way.
I could have sworn at least I thought they released like a dual sort of thing, which I thought was actually really cool because they're both easily two of the better games in the entire franchise.
It's very easy possible. I would have to double check, and since I'm streaming, I really don't want to go over to my little shelf of PS4 games and check. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on Amazon and just do a little search here for DMC Devil May Cry, and let's see what all comes up. Devil May Cry Definitive. Here we go. I really hate the layout that Amazon's come up with for this. For all of their fucking games, like the top is a little bit different now. Okay, so this comes with the Virgil's Downfall campaign, plus brand new modes and additional content. Doesn't say anything about DMC4 being in here.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was released separately.
It might have been.
All right, my bad.
Dude, it's totally cool. Okay, what else we got in here for questions? My thoughts on NFL preseason, kind of boring. Should be cut down to 2, maybe 3 games. It doesn't really add much confirmation about the quality of play. Well, you see, the thing about the preseason is the reason that the preseason is, like, I believe now it's 4 games, something like that. The reason why is because holy shit, there are, like, flags everywhere. I'm curious what the fuck just happened. Anyway, like I said, guys, I actually am watching the Packer game right now. Is that after the fucking draft, every team is huge, and they have to, like, whittle it down. Oh, it's a penalty against the fucking Niners. First down, baby. Go Pack, go. Anyway, after the fucking draft and free agency and trading and everything else, the teams are fucking massive, and the preseason is mainly to give the rookies and the maybes a chance to show that they are worth keeping. Which honestly is why you rarely see starters. I mean, I actually am kind of surprised to see the first stringers for the Packers out there right now, because I could have sworn they were still wondering about a lot of the second stringers and third stringers and shit.
They also don't want the starters injuring themselves in preseason.
Yeah, because I think that happened with Eddie fucking Lacey last week. He injured his ankle. So how about that new Powerpuff Girls show? Claymore's asking, how about that new PPG show?
I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
About the only thing I can say is I didn't like the Powerpuff Girls when it first came on because I thought the show was kind of shit. Ooh, hang on. Damn, he's down. Oh shit, and we have another flag out. Anyway, I'll talk about the Powerpuff Girls a touch more. I was not a fan of the old Powerpuff Girls show. I kind of thought that it just felt kind of pointless. And this new show really hasn't changed a thing. It is literally the exact same shit that they were doing back then, except they've recast the girls, and they occasionally, based on episode, apparently have this new power where they're essentially like members of the Green fucking Lantern Corps and can create constructs around their body.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer. I thought that was the weirdest fucking thing to sing, and I think that's stupid as hell.
And I've seen maybe like a dozen episodes of this new show. I think I've maybe.
No. I gotta talk about this because it's really about me. Because I know exactly why they gave them those powers. They did it so they could make the show less violent.
Yes.
Because they don't have to physically punch the enemies anymore, which is annoying. Because that was one of the coolest things about the Powerpuff Girls.
Is the fact that it was one of the only cartoons where you actually saw them punch people.
Yeah.
You saw the heroes actually, resort to violence.
And now they're like, no, you can't think of the children.
Yeah, in fact,
they can't touch the opponents. Like, that's dumb.
In fact, I was just thinking about it, and that is like the only difference is I don't think I've seen the Powerpuff Girls punch anybody, which is
which is like 90% of what they did to their opponents in the old show.
Yeah. So and they also opted to rehash one of the really shit episodes of the old series, except they opted to do like a gender fucking flip on it.
Which one?
Okay, do you happen to remember the episode where the Powerpuff Girls were fighting against like a feminist who was robbing banks and only stealing Susan B. Anthony dollars?
I liked that episode.
That episode was fucking shit. Anyway, they opted to do one where it's this ultra manly man by the name of fucking boy. Who has...
That's kind of funny.
And also Man Boy has a sentient beard.
Well, of course.
And he can also tear off his beard and it magically like fucking grows. It's weird.
Should I be offended yet, or?
Well, apparently a whole lot of the whiners were saying, oh, this character, this Man Boy character, is just basically them ripping into like, it's just them like tearing into fucking MRAs and all this other shit. It's like, I don't know. It's just a fucking goofy character. Shut the fuck up.
That they did the Ultra did one against feminists. They can do the same thing the other way around, alright?
And he has a fucking army of wooden fucking robots. It's like, come on, shut up. MRAs do not have an army of wooden fucking robots, and they do not have sentient beards.
Well, we can make one.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could make a wooden fucking robot. In fact, that would be kind of cool.
Maybe we would make more if we would stop getting friend zoned all the time.
But anyway, this new Powerpuff Girls show, it really does feel very, very similar to the old show. So I don't know what people... Oh, wait, I do know what some people are fucking complaining about. One other complaint is that there's like a 2-second shot in one episode of... I guess it was supposed to be one of the Powerpuff Girls twerking, but since they don't have a fucking ass, it's kind of hard to tell if they're really twerking or not.
Okay.
And the fact that the Powerpuff Girls are like kindergartners and they're fucking twerking, that is seen as a bad thing. Mind you, the shot is all of 2 seconds long, and this bunch of pin-headed fuckwits are making it sound like it was some kind of like a crime against God.
Well, maybe it was.
Oh yes, because God is sitting up there going, I put all of you people on this earth to be nice to each other, not to draw 5-year-olds twerking. The fuck is wrong with you?
To be fair, I did have to sit down and actually draw that.
Yeah, except... But dude, again, the Powerpuff Girls are essentially just tubes. You can't tell if they're fucking twerking or not, because they don't have an ass to twerk.
I don't think that's the point.
It literally just looked like they were doing some kind of a stupid little fucking dance that may or may not have been twerking. Who cares? So anyway, moving on from the mountainous pile of failure that is the Powerpuff Girls. Emer, do you think zombies in games can be scary again, and not so action-oriented like they used to be? I really don't think that we can make zombies scary again, period. I kind of think that ship has long since sailed. What about you, Josh? Do you think zombies can be, scary again?
It can be done. They have to be more creative about it and not do what we've been seeing for years. Because, okay.
Josh, dude, The Last of Us did something different because their zombies are based off of mushrooms.
That's not the same thing.
Which apparently is the reason why I should fucking play it, according to the 5 people who basically have outright demanded I stream it, is because their zombies are different and they're mushroom based and it's so cool and the story is so deep and Emer, it's so good. Emer, it's like I don't care.
Well, here's my thing. All right. It can. I think it can be done. They just have to get more creative with it because zombies have stopped being scary twice now, and they refreshed the idea. And admittedly, I don't like the movie, and you don't like the movie, but it was 28 Days Later that sort of introduced this, or at least made it more popular. Someone sat down and said, "Hey, what if the zombies were fast?" Which, admittedly,
weren't there fast zombies in a couple of old 80s zombie films?
But it wasn't popularized, and that in 28 Days Later, again, I don't like the movie either, did help bring that sort of into the popular. People are like, oh, that's actually way scarier now. And to be fair, zombies are way more intimidating when they can run.
But Josh, I have to make this point because this was a point that was argued to me numerous times after I had reviewed that movie. It's not a zombie movie.
Oh, Christ, you're fucking going.
They aren't zombies, they are infected.
Tell them to fight me. I don't care.
Well, see, what I told them to do was I told them to fuck off. It's totally a zombie movie, and they wouldn't listen. So,
either way, the point is that movie allowed the zombie concept to take on a new form.
Infected.
And shut up and made it a bit scarier. But now that has become stale, and it's not scary anymore. It has to evolve again. And I don't know how they're going to do it, but eventually, I think it could be done, but it's going to take someone with some creative thought and the ability to not do what we've seen before, goddammit.
Now we have a question. Do we have Crystal Pepsi in Green Bay? Well, yes we do. In fact, I'm cracking open a bottle right now. Because Crystal Pepsi is the fucking bomb, yo. So, Josh, do they have Crystal Pepsi over in your neck of the woods yet?
I haven't seen it.
Do you go to gas stations often?
No.
Because I found out, I actually was at Walmart, and there just happened to be a Pepsi guy there who was restocking all of the Pepsi. And I asked him if they had 12 packs of Crystal Pepsi or 2-liter bottles of the shit. And he said, we are only selling it in 20-ounce bottles. So I then had to go over to by the checkouts where they had Crystal Pepsi in stock, and I've been buying this shit like 3, maybe 4 bottles at a time ever since. What is Darkness's thoughts on the commentary community?
I'm sorry. The commentary community still exists?
Apparently, yes.
Well, it's a little hard for me to comment when I didn't even know it still existed. So, no comment. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to think of who the hell's still doing commentaries. I know that Youngblood Fantasy's doing one, is still doing them, because he did this really stupid, shitty, whiny, bitching video at me because apparently he doesn't know what the fuck fair fucking use is, and I have no earthly clue, according to him.
I know someone did a commentary on one of my videos, but that was like 2 years ago or something. Like, it was a while back, so... Like, I was unaware that it was still a thing that was done on a regular basis.
Yeah, it is still done on a regular basis. I mean, granted, like, the commentaries that I watch now are, like, whenever, say, like, Teal Deer or Sargon do, like, their... Well, not even Sargon, he rarely does these now, but, like, Teal Deer and the fucking Satiritician, whenever they do, like, their little, like, commentary sort of things. It's fun. PS4 or Xbox One, Emer? PS4. Because the Xbox One just wasn't doing it for me. What video game franchises need, or what video game franchise needs to die? What video game franchise needs to die? Oh boy.
To get him going.
Final Fantasy.
Actually, I'm not even going to disagree with that. Considering there hasn't been a good Final Fantasy in, like, a decade.
Yeah, because I think the last one that was, like, even marginally fun was, what, 10?
10 was passable.
10 was borderline, I'll say that much.
I hated 10, but I can look back at it and say, you know what? You were alright. Because everything else that came after was so fucking terrible that it's like, it's hard not to appreciate 10. At least 10 still felt like a Final Fantasy game.
It did. God, what other franchises? You know, I was thinking about saying Assassin's Creed, but Ubisoft has taken that fucking year off from making their retarded little game. I'm kind of hoping that they, figure out how to make it interesting again, or just make it interesting, period.
Well, Assassin's Creed Unity was so outrageously terrible that they better take a fucking year off to figure their shit out.
Well, no, dude, you see, because they actually then did Syndicate after that.
Was that after?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was Unity, Syndicate, and then they said that they were going to take a year off, and like immediately after they announced they were going to take that year off is when the Assassin's Creed Chronicles games came out. Which were all those like little like 2D side-scrolly ass Creed titles. I mean, you know, as much as I would love to say shit like Madden and MLB and all that, I know those are never going to go the fuck away. So we basically can just fucking qualify the annual sports titles, because those are never going to leave. Let's see. I could have sworn I saw another question here that would have been interesting to go with. How do you like your steak cooked? You first, dude.
Medium well.
Medium well is good. I do, though, prefer well done. I actually like my meat to be cooked, thank you.
Really? Interesting. I don't know many people that would say that. Everyone I know is like, I like it rare because I like things with blood in them or some shit. I'm like, okay, guys.
See, I am not a fan of of food that is still bleeding.
Yeah, that's what bothers me about it. I'm like, I'm Darkness the Curse, but I don't have to be that edgy about everything. I don't need blood all over my plate. All right.
Especially if I'm having my steak with let's say like mac and cheese or something. And yes, before anyone argues, mac and cheese and steak is a fine fucking combination. You can kiss my ass if you think otherwise.
He lives in Wisconsin. Cheese goes with everything up
exactly, yes.
there.
Anyway, I do not like my mac and cheese to be bloody, thank you.
Well, I would hope that most people wouldn't appreciate their mac and cheese being bloody, but you know.
But I mean, you know, if you have a fucking rare,
frickin',
steak and you cut into it and
maybe friggin' Dark Yagami likes his mac and cheese all bloody and shit.
I want you to put blood in my mac and cheese. Because I'm dark.
Oh, by the way, I'm Kira.
Yes, by the way, he is Kira. By the way, if you guys have not seen that video, head on over to Josh's channel, because...
Here, I'll post a link in the chat for if you guys missed it.
I actually, though, I'm not sure if that's going to come up. I think I have it, like, automatically set up to block spam.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay.
Or to block links, because links are spam. So, just head on over to youtube.com/thedarknessthecurse.
It is the fourth video under my videos.
The Dark Adventures of Light, or the Light Adventures of Dark Yagami.
It's called Light and Dark: The Adventures of Dark Yagami.
That's it.
Part 1 under my Fanfic Nightmare series. Emer was a part of it, and it is it speaks for itself. I feel. I see. We Emer and I have also read My Immortal, and I didn't think it was possible to get edgier than that shit.
My Immortal was absolutely hilarious.
And Light and Dark just proved me wrong. So have fun with that.
You simply have to say, Mohawk made of blood and skulls. That kind of sums up the first chapter. Anyway,
I still personally, every time I think about it, I still laugh at your joke about the Kira thing.
Oh, you mean how, like, Bruce Wayne always does that at his parties? Harvey Dent, hi! I'm Batman.
Mr. Wayne, how are you? I'm Batman. Oh. Hey.
Oh, man. Jeffrey fucking Dahmer would like blood in his mac and cheese. Well, Jeffrey Dahmer was a weird motherfucker.
That's the exception that proves the rule, I feel.
What is the worst DC film ever? So, worst movie based on a DC Comics property.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, God. My mind immediately goes to that horrendous Superman fucking musical I fucking covered years ago.
Does like the frickin' Bollywood shit count, by the way?
I think so.
Because that stuff, basically all of it was terrible.
Unless they happen to mean, like, official DC films.
Yeah, if we want to talk official, let me think some more.
I mean, because then you could probably throw in, like, The Losers. You could throw in Return of... You could throw in fucking Return of the Swamp Thing. You could probably throw in Superman 4.
I was going to say Superman 4. That's definitely up there.
However, though, I believe that nothing will ever be as bad as It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. That was fucking hideous. Oh god, Steel. One Man Show just fucking reminded me of Steel.
Wasn't Steel, like, better than you expected?
It was, but still, it wasn't that fucking good.
But it wasn't Superman 4.
Superman 4 I still think was maybe a little bit better than Steel, but that's because I can laugh.
I was going to say, the only thing Superman 4 had over Steel is that it still had Christopher goddamn Reeves.
And you can laugh at Superman 4.
And Christopher Reeves was probably one of the best Superman that they ever had, so,
I believe so, yes. shit, let me think, because there were a lot of really bad... Oh, wait, no. No. Worst DC movie? That horrendous live-action Justice League movie.
I didn't know there was
Oh,
just on the one that they're making right now.
I covered it for reaction and review like a couple years ago. So you've got the Flash and the Atom, and they're both decked out in what looks almost like football pads, color fucking coded and everything. The Atom is played by the Crypt Keeper. So it's John fucking Kasser as the Atom. That was interesting. The movie was just terrible though. So let's see what else we got here. I wish you would be a bigger YouTuber. I think you deserve to be, since you are the truest movie reviewer man.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that compliment. That's so nice of you.
Well, you see, guys, I am just going to say this, and I'm not trying to sound like some egotistical weirdo, but if you think that, me or Josh or someone else should be, bigger, promote us. Just go onto, message boards and shit and just, promote our shit. Word of mouth helps spread everything.
To be fair, I should point out that Emer, you have at least been slightly small bit featured on television.
I have been.
So, that's something that you have.
I was featured on El Rey for a couple of their promos. That, honestly, was, one of the cooler things I saw is when they shared those videos on their fucking Facebook page. And I got to see how they actually worked in my footage. I'm like, oh, that is fucking awesome. And then I was featured in a video on Vice recently, because they have a series. The series is called Outsider, where they essentially are small little fucking documentaries that look at independent filmmakers. And they did one based on the guy who did Birdemic. They used a little clip of my fucking review of Birdemic. Specifically the bit where I said I would rather watch Boku no Pico again than watch Birdemic. Which was a rather interesting clip, to use. And it was just showing that there are some people who don't take it as such a, amazingly bad movie. Some people think it's just terrible. So, yeah, I mean, I have gotten a little bit of TV time. That is always cool. Oh, and speaking also of word of mouth, I actually have meant to mention this, but because people have been asking me for a long time if I would ever open a Patreon, and I finally did. I broke down and I opened up one because enough people had asked me about it. So if you guys want to help out, the channel or help out me a little bit, head on over to, I'm just trying to, what the hell, I've got the Patreon page called, just give me a sec, I gotta go find that link. I'll just mention it here, because so far I have one friggin' patron who is giving $10, that is awesome. And to him I say thank you. Yeah, it is just patreon.com/EmerPrevost. Just head on over there if you guys want to, donate anything or pledge anything. I am going to say right now that I don't have any perks. I don't have any goals. It's literally set up as simply just a tip jar. So, let's see what else we got in here. Are you excited for the new Batman movie with Adam West and Burt fucking Ward? You know it, buddy.
As much as I love that trailer, there is one thing about it that bothered me, and it's going to bother me.
Well, they actually have two trailers out now.
Well, I only saw one, but either way, it probably has the same problem. And
is it the fact that Burt Ward sounds way too old to be playing Robin?
Actually, I had that issue with West.
Oh, see, West, I actually am just sort of used to his voice because his voice hasn't aged in 30 years. So
he just sounds, well, he sounds how old he is, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not. It's not. It's not that I don't appreciate that they're voicing the characters again. I think that's awesome. It's just, it's been. Oh God, how long has it been? 50 years?
40 or 50 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it shows. But other than that, it was awesome, because quickly Robin to the crosswalk, which I legitimately laughed out loud at. That was funny.
The only thing I'm wondering about is that there is one other cast member from the '60s show who came back.
Yeah, who is that?
Oh, you mean who is Julie fucking Newmar?
I didn't recognize him.
Julie
Her?
Newmar,
Oh, Catwoman.
the first actress who played Catwoman. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Because the '60s Batman show had 3 different actresses playing as Catwoman. It was
I knew
Julie,
that.
yeah, because it was Julie Newmar in the first season. It was Lee fucking Merriweather in the movie and most of the second season. Newmar came back a few times during the second season, if memory serves.
That's not confusing.
The third season was Eartha Kitt, which is weird because the first 2 actresses are white, and Eartha Kitt is black.
That show just didn't give a fuck.
It did not, and that is why the show was awesome.
By the way, I know it's been 50 years, but back in the 60s on the show, I looked up to see which Catwoman she was. Julie Newmar was smoking.
She was fucking hot, man. Actually, all 3 of them were hot back then. I mean, yeah, it was just amazing. Any thoughts on the killing killing joke? It's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. I do have it on Blu-ray. Not sure when I'm going to watch it. Just heads up, I really don't want people asking me if I'm going to cover it for reaction and review. I might. And that's really about the best answer I can give you is I might. Do I still plan on doing Trading Card Corner? Well, I kind of have to at some point, because I got like a bunch of boxes of trading cards here I bought specifically for the series, and there was one that was sent in by a viewer. I still have to get those things done. I just haven't found the spare time to get those things filmed because I've been working and filming for reaction and review and doing streams, doing this, and this. So, like, Trading Card Corner kind of had to get axed because it was just, I didn't have the time. Someday, though, I'm going to go back and try to get those other ones done. Let's see, what other questions have we gotten here? I like Fates and Awakening and 12. Lunatic mode is actually nicely balanced. I'm going to assume, like, Lunatic mode is, like, ultra-hard difficulty on the Fire Emblem games.
Yes.
Alright. And it apparently is nicely, balanced. Which, I just can't imagine something called Lunatic mode being balanced. Just saying, that just doesn't sound right. What are your favorite PS4 games at the moment? Well, I downloaded Terraria like a week ago and I've been playing the fuck out of it. So, if that counts for anything. God, what other games have I been playing a lot on the PS4 lately? I really haven't been playing a lot else beyond that because I've been just too busy with other shit. So I need something I can just sit down and play for 5 seconds. All right, and somebody just posted a link, kind of. I'm gonna see what the hell this is. Something from a channel called Cyber fucking 8. And I'm looking at a still shot, and it looks pretty fucking homely. I'm just gonna leave that be. And speaking of something which looks fucking homely, do you think Sausage Party looks funny?
Well,
you first, Josh. You first, dude. Do you think that Sausage Party looks funny?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think it looks fucking terrible, but that's just me. It looks just fucking retarded. And I do not mean retarded as in stupid. I mean it has to have a helmet and it rides a short bus and every corner of the house is covered in Nerf. Retarded. All right, let's just movie looks bad. Let's see. Your thoughts on the industrial Nazi metal band called Hansel und Gretel?
I'm sorry. Industrial Nazi metal band?
Yes. Apparently that is a thing. Are you actually doing like a search on these guys? I don't have a thought on them, dude, because it's industrial Nazi metal. I don't listen to Nazi metal, because I'm not a monster. And Nazis are fucking awful, awful creatures who probably shouldn't have their own genre of music, because fuck those people.
Oh, great. There's an entire Wikipedia article about with a list of neo-Nazi bands. I'm just gonna...
Dude, yes, please, list off...
No, I'm not gonna do that!
I just want you to list off the band names. I'm asking you to list off their song titles.
Okay, alright, let's go back to what I was doing. Neo... Really? This is the kind of shit that I get into whenever I talk to you. I just want you to know that.
Your search history is full of weird shit.
Let's see.
Someday, honestly, the cops are...
This list is not too long, but some of these are... There's Absurd. The second one down is Angry Aryans.
Angry Aryans? Well, that sounds about accurate.
Aggravated Assault. Great. Blue-Eyed Devils. Bound for Glory. Brutal Bigood. Hate Forest. That's accurate. Final War.
Hate Forest.
Floritatha. I believe that's German. Goat Moon. What? Grand Belial's Key. Graveland, Honor, Intimidation 1, Category C. By the way, Category C is spelled with a K.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Of course it is. Which essentially means that the band is either German or they are really big into Mortal Kombat and think all C's need to be replaced with K's.
Kill Baby Kill.
Okay.
Call of Rat. Crash Slag. Lanzer. Leave All Behind. That's way more boring than the last three. Mocked und Arer.
Just saying, dude, like that last one, that Leave All Fucking Behind almost sounds, like a band that you would listen to.
Right? It just sounds like emo as fuck.
It seriously does.
Mass Destruction. Nakampf. Nocturnal Mortem. What rooting is shit in
Nocturnal Mortem.
Nocturnal Mortem.
That honest to God almost sounds like a module for D&D. Nocturnal Mortem.
Let's see. No Remorse.
Again, that almost sounds like one of your bands.
Yes. Nordfront. People Haters. Again, accurate.
Very accurate.
Punk Front. Prussian Blue. Race War.
Race War?
Race War.
Nice. And I, honest to God, thought that most of the band's names were going to be like fucking, like Race War and Exterminate the Juden, weird shit like that. No. They aren't quite that up fucking front with their stupidity.
Well, this band is.
Which one? Race War?
Race War.
And People Haters?
Rahowa.
Oh God, Rahowa.
You know them?
No. I honestly am just fucking familiar with the term. Rahowa is short for Racial Holy War.
Gotcha.
I know because there actually is a role-playing game out there which is called Racial Holy War, and it's one of the worst role-playing games ever made because they didn't put in any sort of like combat fucking rules, and your ultra strong Aryan character your strong Aryan character is essentially forced to run away in fear if there's more than four elderly blind fucking black fucking women near you. I found that when I was searching for
see, it's things like that make me realize that God does have a sense of humor.
I found out about that one when I was searching for the worst role playing games ever, and I stumbled into Fatal. I found that one too. So
Fatal.
We still totally have to find somebody to fucking DM that thing, man. I would totally
Fatal.
play.
So we have to sit down and actually read the fucking thing.
Well, no, actually, just the fucking DM would, and then they can just explain everything else to us.
Yeah, 'cause the only one I can think of is Duck, and he's not that fucking sadistic to himself.
He honestly is not going to read a 900-page book of racist armors and anal fucking it's fucking circumference.
Really, what we need to do is not play a game of Fatal, but just sit down in a stream and just try to roll up a character in Fatal.
Oh, for fuck, dude. Rolling up a character I think takes something like 90 minutes.
I know.
Because you're rolling for like 15 different fucking stats. And, of course, you are rolling for like six different stats. And then and then you have a bunch of sub fucking stats underneath those, and you roll those independently of the main stat.
And then you have to roll for all your physical features, too.
Yeah.
Like some kind of madman.
Alright, so why don't we skip past the Nazi bands, because those are kind of...
There's only 6 left, I might as well finish the list.
Okay, yes, let's finish this.
Screwdriver.
I have heard of them.
Skullhead. Spriegschwader. Stallgwitter. Weissewolf. And Youth of Tomorrow.
I am rather proud of the fact that out of all those bands, the only one I've ever heard of is Screwdriver. I think that's because most people have at least heard of Screwdriver. Someone's asking, isn't there a game called Ethnic Cleansing?
Yes.
Yes. And it's a game you literally beat in about 15 minutes. And it was made by a White Power record fucking label. I believe the label is called Resistance Records. It is the only video game that they have ever shat. No, wait, they actually shat out a second one. And it's essentially like a level pack for Ethnic Cleansing. Let's see here. Your thoughts on Space Jam? Josh?
Wait, what?
Your thoughts on Space Jam?
Oh, that's a pretty good movie.
Oh, yeah. In fact, hell, I honestly would say that until fucking Looney Tunes Back in Action came out, it was one of the best Looney Tunes films ever, not counting the fucking shorts. It was actually incredibly fun. Excuse me. Alright, so what else we got in here? Your thoughts on Boardwalk Empire? I've never seen it. Let's see. Josh, have you seen any of Boardwalk Empire?
Nope.
Alright. Alright, let me scroll up a touch here. Let's see. Have you ever read the Fables series? I've read the first volume of Fables, and I thought it was really, really solid. I actually have meant to get a few more of the books. Do you happen to know anything about? Do you know anything about Fables, Josh?
Nope.
The comic book?
Nope.
Well, I think best way to sum it up is, uh, it it basically is what Disney royally ripped off when they made their shitty little fucking Once Upon a Time show. Because it's fairy tale characters in the modern world. Fables actually has a reason for that. It's because their fucking land was taken over by this horrible, horrible force, and they were forced to come to our world. And the ones who can pass off who can pass off as human the most are essentially living in a small block of homes in New York.
Hmm.
And the ones who can't pass as humans, so we're talking like the big bad. Oh no, actually not the big bad wolf. He actually is a werewolf. He shapeshifts. He's the main character of the first fucking volume. But we're talking things like the Three Little Pigs and all that. All live on this farm up, and they all live on this farm upstate. And the farm apparently is where the second volume takes place. Again, I still have to read the second volume, so. But yeah, it is really a fun book, and in fact, the first volume is a murder mystery. As a member of fucking Fabletown is found horribly, horribly, brutally murdered. At least they think that she was murdered because her apartment is all but painted in blood. It really, really was a fantastic read. I loved it. Would you? Okay, so next one is would you? Our next question is would you agree that Japanese video games are in a decline compared to Western video games? I say that because Japanese games have been shifting to mobile and handheld markets lately. I wouldn't say that Japanese games are necessarily on a fucking are necessarily on a decline, so much as there's just more Western games coming out.
Yeah. I think it's a couple things you have to consider too. First of all, Japan has always been way freaking ahead of us when it comes to phone games.
Oh yes.
They were way more obsessed with that before. Like, we didn't really get into that until the iPhone came out. But Japan actually had phone games,
like BlackBerry games and shit.
Yeah, like they were actually really into it, like way more so than you'd think. That being said, though, I think the big problem Japan has right now when it comes to games and why it seems like they're on a decline, it isn't so much that people aren't playing the same kind of games over there. It's that it seems like a lot of Japanese developers are just fucking up lately. Like,
oh yeah,
just really badly. Capcom, Konami, god damn it, Konami. Sega's trying to come back. They've been doing better, but they were like the first to really go down. The only one I can think of off the top of my head oh, sorry, Square Enix, because holy shit, guys. You have
wait a second, wait. How exactly did Square Enix fuck up? Because I can tell you, Sega and Konami's fuck ups. I don't know about Square Enix's, though.
They still make Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, that, though, is because Final Fantasy still, unfortunately, sells.
Yes, but 13 was pretty... 14? Hello?
All three versions of it?
Yeah, I mean, again, they've been trying, but my point is that a lot of these big... These developers that used to be really consistently good, just all the time, basically. I mean, there was a time where you could go to any of those companies I just mentioned, and you get a quality product. But over the last 10 years or so, that hasn't been the case. Well, they've been giving either bad products or giving out products that people didn't want, or trying to retool products for a different market and failing miserably because they don't understand Americans, or whatever it may be. And it's just caused this influx where people have started looking elsewhere for quality games. A lot of American and Canadian and even UK developers have really gained a lot of steam because they're producing games that they know their market wants.
We'll see. I think part of this problem, and you mentioned that Sega is trying to fix their problem, but I really don't think that they're doing enough to fix it, because their big issue is not that Sonic games are generally shit now. It's the fact that that is the only card that they are willing to play. Sega has a, dearth of franchises that we could be seeing new shit from. We could be seeing a new Streets of fucking Rage. We could be seeing a new Vector Man. We could be seeing new this, and this. Tons of different franchises that are Sega exclusive. And the only thing which they're dealing us is 7 different flavors of Sonic.
Well, I can actually explain this, because people bring this up with me all the time because, I'm the Sonic guy. So
well, you see, and I honestly am not mentioning it because you are the Sonic guy. I'm mentioning it because
no. But my point is that I've had this discussion, and people bring it up, and I'm like, it's not that simple, because I think I know why they're so focused on Sonic right now. Because Sonic is their big draw. It's easily their most popular franchise, and I'm pretty sure their point is they want to try to make sure they get him right before they worry about anything else, because the notion that Sega has not attempted to revitalize some of their other franchises is not true.
True. I do know that they have done a few.
The problem is that every time they have attempted it, it's been a fucking colossal disaster. That is the issue.
Well, that, though, is because you got to look at it this way. There's a world of difference between Golden Axe and that Dragon Rider thing that came out.
Oh my god, Beast Rider is so fucking bad, you don't understand.
Oh no, dude, I totally understand. The problem with that is that Golden Axe has got a really nice fucking formula. If you wanted to do something with it, you could have made a fucking, Diablo clone or, a Gauntlet clone or something and slapped the fucking Golden Axe name on it, and it would have been fine. Instead, they tried to do whatever the fuck it was.
Oh my god.
That thing was.
And then they did frickin' Knight's Journey of Dreams, and that sucked too. Thanks for ruining Knights, you assholes.
Yeah.
What else have they tried? I'm trying to think. I know there was another one that they fucking ruined.
Vector Man was going to come out. They were going to come out with a
PS2
Vector Man.
They wisely decided to abandon that entire idea.
And wasn't that actually because they essentially turned Vector Man into a poor man's Master Chief?
Yes.
Yeah.
The worst part is that the pre-alpha footage, what they were working with, it didn't look like it could be a bad game. It just looked like Vector Man. That was the big problem.
Yeah.
They were the plot was Vector Man got destroyed, but he got rebuilt, and now he's got this awesome armor mecha, and I'm like, I think you're missing the point. Damn it. And actually, Vector Man in particular is a sore spot for me, because they have that is one franchise they have chosen deliberately to completely ignore over the years. They refuse to acknowledge him for some reason. I don't know why. Especially when you have the gall to release Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed and then not include the character who can transform.
True.
Why wouldn't you? He could be his own car and play it in anything, but no.
Instead, they give that to a Dreamcast memory unit thing that turns into the
Hey, the Afterburner plane.
The Afterburner plane and the Outrun car and.
Admittedly, the VMU was fucking awesome.
The Hydro Thunder boat, I believe.
Even if you had to release them as DLC, I don't understand. Done that. It's true that they do ignore some of their franchises, but I genuinely feel that they're actually kind of scared that they'll ruin something else at this point, and I wouldn't blame them, because they've done a really bang up job of doing that so far.
Well, see, and I think I kind of know what would be a nice fix for some of this. They can do what they've been doing with Sonic lately, and just do essentially do the same thing, but with slightly prettier graphics.
Coming next summer, Vector Man Boom.
No, I'm not talking about Boom. I'm talking about Sonic 4 and Sonic Mania, where it's back to the 2D roots.
And then after that, Knights Boom.
Where Knights is covered in tape and has a chest the size of a fridge.
I hate you guys.
For instance, we are getting a new Toe Jam and Earl game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it looks exactly like the old games. Thus, I think that is going to work.
And the Sonic Mania thing actually thrills me to death. Not because people are like, it looks like old school Sonic, and I'm like, no. it looks like Knuckles Chaotix, which is even better in my mind because that was one thing that people missed. Is that Sega made a huge mistake, right? Because of course it did. With the 32X and the Sega Saturn, right?
Yeah.
The thing about both those platforms, they were designed to do high resolution 2D imaging.
Oh, so they actually did have blast processing.
In a sense, they were modeled to handle a ton of pixels on the screen, but in a 2D format. So some of the 2D games, like Knuckles Chaotix, for example, the sprites are really, really detailed. Like this stuff is very visually appealing and just everything about them. But because both Nintendo and Sony were like, yeah, we're doing 3D, Sega was like, oh shit, we should probably do that too. Like weak 3D engine in both of them, which is why when developers went to try to make 3D games on the Saturn, it looked okay, but there was a draw distance issue and this picture was kind of grainy, like it didn't really look that great because it's not what the console was designed to do. But people never got a chance to appreciate the kind of 2D imaging those games could bring out. So when I saw what Sonic Mania was going for, I was like, hey, this is an art style that nobody really got to appreciate because of the platforms it only existed on, namely the 32X. So I'm happy that it looks like that. I'm also happy that it's using a unique art style because I was afraid if they ever decided to do the sprite thing, they'd pull a Mega Man 9 and just do it like with the Genesis sprites.
Yeah, they just go back to like the ancient Genesis sprites and just run that. By the way,
which would be some lazy bullshit, by the way.
And on the note of Sonic fucking Mania, there is something that I need to kind of sort of discuss because apparently there have been news stories lately of various fan games, like various like Pokemon fan games, Mario fan games, are all getting shut down because fucking Nintendo's been threatening lawsuits, this and that, and yada yada yada. And a lot of people have been summing it up on Facebook by saying, well, you know, Sega actually goes and they hire people who make fan games to make games for them. Number one, that is because Sega doesn't know what the fuck they're doing anymore, so they're desperate for anything. Number two, explain Freedom Planet to me then. Freedom Planet started out as a fan game. Sega threatened to sue them if they didn't shut it down. So they swapped every one of their Sonic sprites for new ones and turned it into Freedom Planet. Don't fucking tell me that Sega is innocent in this whole sicking fucking lawyers on fan shit when that is exactly what they fucking do.
Yeah, that actually, I actually saw that too, and that bothered me a lot because I know of a very specific incident involving a Streets of Rage fan game.
That too!
Yeah, you remember that one?
I do, yes!
They had just almost finished that game, and it was going to be great, and they were going to release it, and Sega was like, we will sue the fuck out of you, and they had to pull it down.
And if I'm not mistaken...
That was like 8 years of work by like 2 people.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they actually get the fucking go-ahead from Sega?
Yeah,
initially
they contacted Sega and they were like, you know what, whatever, it's totally cool. But then I guess when they were finally released, they were like, oh my god, they made a game that's better than the stuff we make now. Sue them. It was pretty upsetting. But that sort of behavior is not something that people should be surprised by because every single corporate enterprise is going to protect their properties. That's just a simple fact, and they don't want anything cutting in to what they assume is going to be their profit margin. Nintendo does not want someone sitting there at the computer playing, what's it called, Pokemon something or other.
Yeah, Pokemon like Uranium, I think was
Uranium
the name of the new one.
Shit, like whatever it's called. Instead of Pokemon Sun and Moon, for example.
Yes.
They do not want that.
They don't want them playing Streets of Rage, whatever the fuck the fan game for that was.
Instead of playing, you don't have another Streets of Rage. Listen.
Instead of going on Steam and downloading like the Steam version of Streets of Rage 3. Let's say.
Why would you get 3? You would obviously get 2.
I was just, actually, yeah, because I believe that they only have 2 out on the little Sega collection Steam thingamajig. I think it is only.
3 sucks.
It's
it's not very fun. And
anyway,
And the music sounds like sounds like a spider having a seizure on a keyboard. So
So, our next question. Hey Josh, what are your thoughts on VR headsets? And Emer, I heard you say on a previous stream that virtual reality is a stupid gimmick. Why is that so? So why don't we break this down? We can start with you, dude. What are your thoughts on virtual reality headsets?
it's a stupid gimmick.
How so?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize there needed to be any other.
Well, because they...
I feel like it has its purpose in some mediums. Like a big example that I heard, which I'll admit to, is horror games. Because people, if you're playing an actually really intense horror game, the headset does not allow you to look away from the screen. For example, so it can be more immersive in that regard. I can understand that point, but I cannot imagine constantly playing a game with something strapped to my fucking head.
See, and I can totally, I can agree on that. Horror games, it works. Or, like, those, like, videos where it's like, you're, like, going through, like, a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The VR headset for that is great. I logged into Steam a couple days ago and found out that, Tabletop Sim has VR support. Why?
Right. And then there's some games like that, or like, say, Sonic or Mario, or those types of things. Why would I ever strap something to my fucking head to play something like that?
Now, mind you.
Unless you're going to offer me first-person Super Mario Brothers, I see no purpose.
I can kind of see, like, the fun in playing something like Pokemon in VR. I think that might be kind of fun. I can see maybe if you're really into this pig shit, like Call of Duty, I could see that in VR working pretty well. But again, we then look at the fact that I have to stress tabletop sim. It's like there is no benefit from, say, me, Josh, and Duck sitting down and playing fucking Super Fight on tabletop sim, but one of us has a little stupid headset on, because then the only thing which happens then is that they can now look around the room, which doesn't help because the fucking backgrounds in tabletop sim are shit. Someone's asking Josh if you've played Freedom Planet.
Everyone asks me that.
Well, I mean, I believe they might have asked because I brought it up.
Everyone asks me that.
Well, yeah, because it did.
You know what the hell of it is? Someone bought it for me one year for Christmas. I think it was last year. I think it was Zach, my Canadian friend, who bought it for me. I still have not played it though, because I just have a problem with what I see as a Sonic game that is not really a Sonic game.
Is that also why you won't play Mighty Number 9? Because it's a Mega Man game that's not a Mega Man game?
No, I won't play Mighty Number 9 because Mighty Number 9 is a piece of shit.
And I have said this, and I will say it again. If somebody wants to go on Amazon and buy that horrible thing, digital copy, there's no way in hell I'm keeping a physical copy of this thing, and you send me the code for it, for the PS4 version, I will stream Mighty Number 9. In fact, shit, if somebody does that tonight, you go on Amazon, you pay for a PS4 code of Mighty Number 9, I'll fucking stream that shit tomorrow night.
That game looks so fucking bad.
That's why I'm not paying for it.
Oh my god. No,
I will also...
I was not one of the supporters for that thing, because I didn't really feel like supporting what is clearly a blatant Mega Man ripoff. I don't care if it's made by the same guy who originally made Mega Man. Okay, it's just Mega Man without actually being Mega Man. Shut up. But then I see the final product, and I'm like, oh my god. Yo. What the...
And I will just stress this. You guys are going to have to, like, PM me that code if you do it. And I'm going to double down on this, because there's another recent game that was funded by way of Kickstarter that seems to be letting a lot of people down. I'll totally stream this one too. Somebody wants to send me a code, PS4 code for No Man's Sky. I'll fucking play it.
God, why?
Because I have to see how bad this goddamn thing is.
What is Mighty Number 9? Like, it's just... God, that... I actually, in mentally strained trying to process how Mighty Number 9 turned out, because honestly, I don't understand
how something can raise $4 million and look like that.
Yeah, and then, well, the other thing that bothers me is that it's made by the same guy who made Mega Man, right? And the gameplay is not... is almost basically the same. There are a couple differences, but like not enough, you know, for it to be a massive deal. You've basically programmed this before. How was this a challenge for you?
I really don't have an answer for that one, man.
Like that's the thing that bothers me the most. Like I know you've done this. It's not like this game was pushing any kind of, you know, processing or you know, high resolution shit or anything. Like, it's obviously not when it comes to the resolution, and you couldn't, you know, get it coded quicker. And I don't understand. I just don't get it. It feels to me. I mean, without knowing because I wasn't there and I can't say for sure, but to me it feels like mismanagement. And no, Inafune, it's not better than nothing. Stop lying to people.
Apparently... Okay, so apparently he never actually said it's better. It is better than nothing. It was... What happened there was... Now that there apparently was his fucking translator who fucking translated what he said and then essentially summed it up as it's better than nothing, while that's not apparent, so, while that apparently is not a
that's fair
valid translate or a valid summation of what he was saying. So someone's asking, what is there to play in No Man's Sky? I don't know. But apparently it was supposed to be this vast sweeping game and it's letting people down, and I'm curious as to why. That, I think, is why I'm interested.
Planets!
Yes, it apparently
has on them!
It apparently has like an infinite number of planets. And as soon as you fix your janked up spaceship that you start with, you can travel from planet to planet.
To planets!
It's got billions of planets. Infinite possibilities. You can run into dinosaurs and shit on these planets. It's like, I'm just curious. And like four, maybe 5 people have asked this now. I guess we can cover this. What do you think of Grade A Under A?
I don't know what that is.
Grade A Under A is a guy on YouTube. I personally am subbed to him. I think he's fucking funny as hell. And I can't shake this feeling that I may have actually talked to him at some point. See, because he doesn't fucking announce, like, because he doesn't fucking give out his real name. He doesn't give out any of that. But I swear to God, I've talked to him before, and here is kind of the story. Years and years ago, I'm talking like early 2000s, before I started on YouTube, before any of this shit, back honestly before fucking like Skype was a thing, before, you know, MySpace and Facebook were a thing. A lot of people would go on a lot of people would use services like Yahoo Instant fucking Messenger. And they had chat rooms in there. And there was a wrestling chat room. I used to frequent it. And there was this guy with a little bit of a fucking, like, kind of sort of British, kind of sort of Indian accent. Sounded exactly like Grade A Under A. And I'm almost certain that he may have been in there because the guy dropped so many fucking wrestling fucking references it almost hurts. And his videos are kind of funny. He actually just did one recently about the fact that people honestly shouldn't fucking judge you for watching porn and beating off because it's just something that guys do. It's normal. And he does the shit, and he says it in, like, really funny ways, and the art style he uses is kind of sort of, like, simplified and fun. I personally can highly recommend him. If you guys haven't fucking seen him, I think he's up to like 2 million subs. By all means, check him out. He's fucking awesome. You honestly have never heard of him, dude?
Nope.
Okay, and you're obviously away from your microphone.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still here.
Not exactly sure what Josh is doing.
I'm doing my laundry.
Ah.
I figured since you were talking about something I had no idea about, I'd just do that real quick.
Oh, it's totally cool. But yeah, dude, if you haven't seen this dude's channel, I do highly recommend you check him out. His videos are normally kind of short and they're really funny, so I love them. For those of you who have not been to his channel, I believe his channel is just youtube.com/grade_A. Swing on over there.
Oh, you actually mentioning him once.
Yeah, I do happen to remember mentioning him a couple times. His stuff is usually pretty good. Actually, correction, his newest video, which he put up 3 days ago, is called Porn, Jerking Off, and Hookers. So at least the man is blunt about what he talks about.
Yeah.
Will I do more Let's Plays on Steam? I might. I'm not really sure. I actually have thought about trying to get like a group of friends together, maybe do some more fucking like tabletop sim, because that's always fun. Just sort of get like a bunch of grown fucking men together and all play Candyland or something. By the way, I actually was playing with my friend Monty on Tabletop Sim a while ago. He had never heard of Candyland.
What?
Candyland apparently is not a thing over in fucking Australia.
Fucking savages.
So when I asked him if he's ever played Candyland, he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I then showed him the game on Tabletop. He's like, "The fuck is this?" And he kept on getting screwed over by cards because he always like landed in the fucking like he always landed in the fucking like swamp and had to like fucking like lose a turn, or he would be like one fucking draw away from victory, and suddenly then he'd pull the fucking like candy cane card and get launched all the way down to the bottom of the fucking board. Just irritated the shit out of me. It was fun though. And to think, if we had fucking VR headsets, we could play Candyland in VR. Psychotic Fax Machine just mentioned that. I'm like, God, that really doesn't make VR sound any more fucking appealing, dude.
No, it doesn't.
I could maybe understand if we were playing like Magic in VR. But even then, that doesn't help it much.
That's not helping. You're not helping. Stop it.
What do you think of Alpha Omega Sin? You first, dude.
I'm trying to remind myself who the fuck that is. Oh, him. I don't watch him.
I do not watch him either, mind you. He honestly comes off as a really cool guy. And I would probably have a blast if I was, like, chatting with him. It's just, I don't watch his videos because he has this bad habit. And this is something which probably only bothers me, because the guy's got plenty of subs to show that this isn't a big deal. But as soon as a news story breaks involving gaming, regardless of if it's been proven or not, he will jump on it and he will make a video.
Yeah, he's always on top of doing that stuff.
So he could pick up on a story that is found out to be absolute bullshit, but he's already made a 12-minute video talking about it.
The other thing that always bothered me, just with him, and this isn't really his fault, because I just have this funny feeling that there are some people that exist that do the same thing with some of my videos, but whatever. My first and continued exposure with him seems to be people who have an opinion on something that is not their own. They say, "Oh yeah, this thing. Check out this guy's video. He says exactly what I'm thinking," and it's always him. And I'm like, "Oh my god, do y'all not have voices of your own?"
Well, apparently, if somebody is saying the exact same thing that you are thinking, it would probably be worth it to just sort of share it so that way you're not, saying the very same thing.
Yes, but
the problem with that is that if that's... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't like when people's opinions are presented to me as facts.
Yes, that much is just annoying as shit.
Because that is not what they are. Okay? And that goes for a lot of the stuff I say in my videos. Most of what I say is my opinion generally.
An opinion cannot be a fact. That is provable. Opinions are simply that. Opinions.
So, but I don't have anything against the guy personally, and, he's got plenty of subs, so I can't really say anything either. Good for him.
Yeah, see, and I honestly am not dumping on his content, it's not my thing. And once more, he comes off as a really awesome dude, and he would probably be amazing to bring onto the stream or something if I, he would probably be an awesome guy to bring on here if I actually had his contact info. I would love to bring him on if he would want to, but I'm just not into his vids. Emer, I hear you keep Blu-rays but not physical copies of games over time. Why is that so? What do you mean I don't keep physical copies of games over, time? I
believe what this person is saying is that you seem to collect movies on Blu-ray and DVD, but you seem to not keep hold of a lot of your games.
Well, the reason is because with a lot of games, once I've beaten them, or once there's, no real interest in going back, I don't need them. The Blu-rays I keep are movies I actually like. I don't keep movies I have no interest in ever watching again. Except for shit like Tremors fucking 3, because it's, the one bad patch in a 4-movie set. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
I actually already pretty sure I knew what your answer was going to be, but I was just translating one of his questions.
And you see, for instance, as soon as I'm done with the Final Fantasy X and 10-2 remastered, I'm probably never going to play that thing a second time. So I can totally dump out that as soon as I'm done with it. As soon as I'm done with Alien Isolation, I can probably get fucking rid of it. But stuff such as Fallout 4 and Godzilla, and all that, I will probably hang on to those because those have lasting power. And naturally, if I ever get rid of my PS4, I'm going to get rid of all of the games to go along with it. I don't see myself just getting fucking rid of a Blu-ray player unless I buy a new one to take its place. Let's see. What else we got in here? Do you listen to Pantera? Sometimes. They really aren't high up there on my list of bands I absolutely have to listen to, but I mean, they are fairly fucking decent. Are you listening to something over there, Josh?
No, why?
Oh, because it kind of sounds like there's music in the background or something.
That's not music. Hold on, let me turn it off. That is a little static noise from the baby monitor that I had on from when Jack was over during the weekend, and I never bothered to turn it off.
Oh, because it actually almost sounded like a heavy metal drum beat, like faintly in the background or something.
No, it was just a little bit of residual radio static, is all it was.
Oh, okay. But anyway, when it comes to Pantera, I actually kind of sort of liked their earliest stuff a lot. I'm talking when they were a hair metal band, and his name was Diamond Daryl instead of Dimebag. That shit there was just cheesy as shit, and I loved it. What about what about you, Josh? Do you listen to any of Pantera?
Nope.
Nope. Alrighty. Alright. See, what else we all got in here? Hey, do you like hot sauce?
Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles.
So, Josh, do you like hot sauce?
No.
See, I'm not really big on hot sauce. Mind you, I love spicy food. Like, for instance, like, if I order, like, Chinese, I'm going to get the fucking General fucking Tao's chicken, because that's nice and spicy. I like it. But when it comes to just hot sauce in general, just any kind of hot sauce, I am not a big fan. The reason... Maggie's up. Anyway... Anyway, the reason why I don't care for hot sauce is because of the taste. Tabasco sauce is some of the worst shit I think I have ever tasted because it claims to be hot sauce, but because it's like 98% vinegar, it's far more, sour than it is hot. Sriracha sauce would probably be tolerable if it didn't happen to smell like a dead fucking skunk's ass. So Sriracha sauce smell is like the nastiest shit on the planet. Have you ever had Sriracha sauce, Josh?
Nope.
Have you? Oh god, dude. So if you ever happen to see like an open bottle somewhere, sniff it. Just sniff the fucking tip, and you will know how bad the stuff really stinks.
Sorry, I'm still struggling with the phrase "sniff the tip." It's just not something you really say to somebody.
If I ever happen to form a band, I'm gonna call the band "Sniff the Tip." Because why? Because why the fuck not? Okay, what is it about cheese that is very appealing to you? Well, as Josh mentioned, I am from Wisconsin. There's cheese everywhere. So, it's like you almost have to like cheese because there's nothing the fuck else around. Yo.
Not the food cheese. Like, cheesy
Oh.
in a movie.
What is it about cheese? Oh, duh. What is it about cheese, not the food? I think it's just because I like goofy, stupid shit. I think the best way to sum it up, the reason why I like cheesy movies and shit, is because, alright, we were talking about Adam West earlier. When he was asked why he took the Batman role, it's because he read that script and he said it was just so goofy and it was just so dumb that he knew he was going to have a lot of fun with it. So, oh, yo, hang on. We apparently have somebody joining us. Rather late in, but still. Sup, Nikki?
Hey, what's up?
This motherfucker. Just.
Oh, Josh, she's in here. We should have him tell the graveyard story.
Oh, God. Why is it the first thing you think of as soon as you see that I'm here?
Apparently, because he really likes the graveyard story.
You know what's really shit? I don't even get a hi from him. I just tell the graveyard story. It's like, okay, nice to see you too, Nick.
Damn, Nick.
All right, if you both are okay with it,
I am totally down, dude.
All right.
Before you start, I just want to know: do you still associate with this guy at all?
Jesus, no.
Good.
All right. So I used to know this guy. His name is Rob. And Rob is interesting. He likes to get close to people. Like he's always about, oh man, you're just like my brother, dude. And it's like, okay, I just known you for 5 minutes, but you know that's just what he was like. But he could be a really nice guy, and I was okay with him, you know. But over time, he slowly began to slip into what some would consider a pre-existing state of dementia. I'm not really sure. A couple things he continued to do over time. He first of all, he 100% insists that he was in basic military training.
I learned that shit in basic, bro.
However, I 100% insist that he absolutely was not, and that this is a figment of his imagination. Because he's never been in the military, but he really believes that he genuinely has. Because every time he does something like that he considers cool or awesome, he responds to it with, well, "That's what they taught me in basic." And I'm like, Rob, you've never been to basic. Oh my god! But you know, whatever. You know, we can get past this. Anyway, but Rob had a tendency to exaggerate everything.
Yeah, sure. Let's just call this story exaggeration and not full functioning fiction. Let's hear this.
So he loved telling this story. There was this girl that he and I both knew in high school. I'm actually still friends with her on Facebook, believe it or not. And she and him dated briefly, probably for about a month or two. And he really liked her, and she left him for another guy, as girls sometimes do. You know, that happens. It sucks, but you know, it's whatever. What isn't whatever is Rob's reaction to things, which is to imagine that he is way more awesome than he actually is. The story he would tell. I guess she left him for another guy or whatever, and in order to win her back, this is all according to him. All right, all according to him, he went up to her, realized that he had left her for this other guy, and he challenged him to a sword fight in a graveyard to win her back. He presents this as absolute fact. I just need to stress this. And then he goes on and says that they fought while she watched in a graveyard with swords. Because it had to be in a graveyard. Because just a sword fight would not be edgy enough. It had to be in a graveyard because that's what they taught him in basic. You do all your fighting in a graveyard. But anyway, so according to him, he won the fight and it was supposed to be to the death. He didn't do it. He showed him mercy.
Because that is what they taught him in basic.
That's what they taught him in basic.
Is to show your enemy mercy.
And then he would end it with, well, it didn't matter because even though I did that and won the fight, she still stayed with him anyway.
You should have finished him, bro.
Obviously. Mind you, later
I don't know, dude. I mean, especially since then, she would probably then just dated the fucking corpse, because it's probably still better than dating him.
Well, so the funniest part, as you probably assumed, I ran into a girl that this was all about, and I had to ask her about this story. I told her the story. I'm like, is any of this true? Absolutely none of it is true. I don't know where the hell he pulled this from, other than his ass. But according to her, none of that ever happened. So there you go. That's Rob.
Actually, I believe that I know where he got the story. I think one night he was just really drunk, and he was watching Highlander, and just thought, do you know what would make this shit better, dude? If it was in a graveyard.
You can't fight on holy ground.
Doesn't matter, dude. Graveyard. That's what they taught me in basic, dude. You got to make shit better. Now, about this story.
Of overreacting to things.
Now, about this is, when Josh was first telling us about this guy, I actually cooked up that voice, that, like, surfer, stoner voice for him. And I would just say some, like, out-fucking-landish shit. And then there'd be a long pause on Josh's end. They'd go, he actually did that once. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. He once actually flipped out about fucking crackers. I'm serious.
What?
Seriously did. He got really mad about those saltines, dude. You have no fucking idea.
Because somebody jacked his fucking saltines, yo.
Okay, alright, so I would go over Rob I would hang out with Rob's roommate mostly, but Rob was there because, you know, his house too or whatever. And I was over there one day, and we were just chilling, and just talking, and everything was cool. Rob wasn't there, and all of a sudden, I hear the distinctive sound of Rob. Who the fuck ate my fucking crackers, dude? I'm like, this ought to be good. Someone ate some, not all, but some of his crackers that he had kept in the pantry, and he demanded swift and utter vengeance on the consumer of his saltines.
Whatever happened to Rob? I'm very curious.
Alright, last I heard, because I still talk with his roommate sometimes, or his former roommate.
I was just about to say, it's not his current roommate, is it?
No. They stopped being friends because Rob's out of his mind. Last I heard, he'd moved back in with his parents and was working as a car mechanic, I think, but that was years ago, so I have no clue now. I know he's not in jail or anything because another one of my friends saying still hangs out with him. I don't really know what
that doesn't mean he's not in jail. I mean, you can usually hang out with him during fucking, like, visiting hours.
Well, I know he got in trouble for a few things because he's an idiot. But yeah, I don't really know. I haven't. The last time I spoke to him was briefly on the phone when I was still dating my ex, because he was friends with her too. And he had a bunch of stuff she had written in high school and wanted to get them back, but he never actually made good on actually returning those, so I never talked to him again after that.
All right. So, going on to the questions. Is there any interest in Doom 2016? Any interest in playing the new Doom game?
I love the shit out of it.
I haven't played it.
I'm gonna wait until it comes down to a slightly more reasonable price.
But Nick, I thought you were busy. I thought you were busy exploring the planets.
Fuck you.
So wait. Oh wait, yeah. Nick actually kicked into that Kickstarter, didn't he?
What Kickstarter?
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky never got a Kickstarter.
Oh, I could have sworn that one was on Kickstarter.
But despite not having a Kickstarter, it still managed to make a ton of false promises. So go figure on that.
Or was that one on like Indie fucking Go-Go? I know for a fact started.
It started out as indie. It started out with Hello Games kind of using funds, I assume, off of Joe Danger to fund the game. Then Sony foot the bill for a PS4 version, and then all went downhill from there.
Oh, okay, because I'm still curious how bad that game really is. So
it doesn't. That's the best way to.
It's boring.
To put the game. Um, think of the most boring walking or survival simulator that you can think of.
Okay.
The game is worse than that.
Okay.
But I
'Cause,
thought you
I mean,
wanted to explore
Because I mean, keep in mind,
the
like this game was at every E3, every Gamescom, every fucking Game Awards. Like this game got more coverage than shit like Destiny and the Division, for reference.
Now, according to some people here, I don't mean to cut you off, but Doom apparently is like $20 on Amazon right now.
Yeah, it's all versions of Doom are $20 on Amazon right now.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, fuck me dead.
I enjoy how the comparisons you make to the hype train were also two games that were exceedingly disappointing, from what I understand.
I fully expected the Division to be fucking shit.
Well
Is it-
then, if Doom's only $20, add to cart. See, I didn't know it was down to $20 right now. I was just about to say, when it hits a more reasonable price like $20, I'll fucking buy it. So,
It's a pretty. I'm
promise, fucking promise, and I was going to say it. I was going to promise that. Promise fucking made. I just bought it.
I'm gonna tell you what everyone else has been kind of parroting because it's pretty much true. Single player is fucking amazing.
Multiplayer is pig shit. Well, I wasn't gonna play the multiplayer. Unless I got people I know I can play with and we can have some fun with it. Otherwise, I'm not touching that.
I love how someone made I can't remember what YouTuber made the joke, but they made the joke about Bethesda's E3 conference was um, do you want they focused a lot on like the building aspect of Fallout 4, like for its DLC when they showed it at E3.
Yep.
And then they showed off a lot of the multiplayer DLC for Doom. And he's like, "Do you want the worst part of Fallout 4? Well, here's more of it. Do you want the worst part of Doom? Well, here's more of
See,
it."
I actually kind of like the building element in Fallout 4. It's just there are things I wish that could have been fixed, like perhaps maybe if you weren't locked into your like character's body as you're building shit, if you could actually like fly around and place things instead of saying I want to place this here. Oh shit, there's a fucking pillar behind me and I can't move past it to place this thing. It was just sort of an annoyance there, but it wasn't terrible.
Fallout 4, like, it's got a lot of good ideas, but I feel like if this was in the hands of someone like Obsidian, I think the game probably would have been a lot better. Because to go from New Vegas to 4 was a huge, significant downgrade in a lot of respects.
Okay, I am reading this question. I'm trying to understand it. Hey,
Yeah.
Emer, why do you think there haven't been any video games on American comic books and Japanese manga crossing over in any genre of video game?
Because it's stupid.
No. Just did I happen to read that right? Because I know what all of those words are.
I'm assuming.
Is he asking why there haven't been video games crossing over American characters and manga characters?
It's fucking stupid. Like,
Or is it like why haven't there been any video games on American comic books? Which there have
games on American comic books.
yeah, because there was just the Batman Telltale thing, and manga characters crossing over into video games. Like there's that Jump All Stars Versus game. The fuck more do you want?
Yeah, I'm assuming the question like, why haven't there been something like fucking Marvel versus Shonen Jump or something?
Because
To which I will keep repeating myself because it's fucking stupid.
And, I know, and I know why people ask that. And I'm not saying, I am not in any way trying to say that Gizmo is one of these people. But the whole thing about crossover games, It's simply so that way retards can gush more about the whole Superman versus Goku fight that would be like a 3-second squash and Superman would fucking win. Shut up.
I feel like if your
he won't.
cross game isn't even going to be even halfway better than Marvel versus Capcom or even Tatsunoko versus Capcom, I feel like you shouldn't even bother. Anyone remember that shit? Tatsunoko versus Capcom?
Yeah, that would probably have sold better if it was on a system that, didn't suck.
Probably.
Have you ever voted for a Republican in a presidential election?
I know the answer to Josh's.
What's the answer?
I'm assuming the last couple of times you voted Republican.
I voted for Obama the first time.
I voted for him both times, because the person he was up against just... No.
I couldn't vote Republican the first time, because no Palin. I did vote for Romney. I will not be voting for Trump, because hell no.
I'm trying to remember, who in the hell was Romney's running mate again?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
I mean, because everybody happens to remember McCain and Palin.
Who the fuck? Yeah, who was?
Who the fuck was Romney's running mate?
No, I remember. It was Paul Ryan.
Oh yeah, it was the goober from my state who nobody gives a fuck about.
Well, he's Speaker of the House now.
Unfortunately, I am terribly sorry to anyone whose states get fucked over by Ryan's bullshit in the House. I am terribly, terribly sorry. Right now, good God,
McCain would have won if he didn't have Palin as his vice?
I don't know.
I think he would have stood a much better chance.
Yeah, Palin, honest to God, I think Palin was literally the albatross that brought his campaign crashing down. It's...
Because before Palin, honestly, McCain's platform had been Republican, but it had been consistent, and he was a known politician, and he was a war veteran. I mean, he had a pretty good appeal, especially to right-wing voters. And all of a sudden, he goes up to Alaska and brings back the crazy, and it's like, oh, ain't nobody got time for that. It was such a colossal fuck up, and there was just no way of getting out of it. Especially when you have such a strong opponent like Obama was.
So, I'm trying to remember, because I know for a fact that the last two fucking elections I voted for Obama, because he was the most logical choice, but, before that was Bush against... Who the fuck did Bush run against?
The second time was Kerry, the first time was Gore.
Yeah, I believe I voted for Kerry because I was sick of Bush's shit. So
I was old enough during that time.
I have never voted Republican in my life, and with this current election, still not gonna vote Republican.
But Emer, don't you want to make America great?
I do, and that's why I can't ethically vote Trump in.
We're gonna build a wall!
No, you're fucking not, you lying, balding fuck.
All about you.
God damn it, Trump is just... Oh, dear Lord. See, I'm kind of thinking about all this, and it's like... If I had to pick between Trump and Hillary, I would ask if there's any chance I can just shoot myself in the fucking head.
That is also, Mike, I will probably go and put my vote in for Hillary, which is a vote that I consider not for Hillary, just against Trump.
See, and I've been looking at all the third-party candidates. I've been looking at that one guy, the libertarian, what's his name? Gary Johnson?
Gary Busey.
Gary Johnson.
Gary Busey.
Yes, Gary Busey for president. I would totally vote for Busey before I vote for either Hillary or Trump.
Would his vice be walking?
Yes, his vice would have to be walking. Anyway. Gary fucking Johnson is like the closest I can come to actually supporting somebody And even then, I don't fully believe in his views because his views almost border on communism. At times, which is what just feels weird.
Fucking commie. We're gonna build the wall, Emmer!
No. We're not. And Trump can keep saying he's gonna build a 30-foot wall.
We're gonna put a wall around the entire country!
We are going to build a wall and Mexico is gonna pay for it. I still think that the best quote is from a former Mexican president who was being interviewed about this. And on national TV, he said, while speaking in English, albeit kind of broken English because, it's not his native language, he said, and I quote, "We will not pay for that fucking wall." He said that live on TV. And I'm like, yes.
I remember when Pacific Rim came out, and they were claiming that the idea of foreign countries paying to build the giant fucking wall for the monsters was not good political commentary. Those people can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, if anything, it was kind of sort of... No, honestly, what I think happened is that Trump watched the movie, and instead of seeing it as just a fun little sci-fi flick, went, we can build a wall, and Mexico can pay for it.
And in those critics' defense, I don't think any of us could ever have predicted this colossal fuck up we call a presidential election.
True.
Because holy shit, I never, I don't think, we haven't seen it this bad in a long time, because, we've had controversy before, but we've never had Donald Trump leading the fucking GOP and one of the most corrupt democratic systems I've ever seen on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part is that the thing that really pisses me off about the Democratic Party right now is because of how shady they've been. They've actually given Trump somewhat of a chance of winning.
See, that I think is
just a disgusting thought.
I absolutely hate how everything's turned out, because Democrats, we saw all those emails about how they were fucking over Bernie, they were doing this. And what we haven't seen are all those emails that Hillary fucking deleted. So, yeah, that's... Yeah. Ooh, boy. I cannot vote for Hillary at all because I would feel horrendously filthy. I really would. I would feel absolutely disgusting.
And the hell of it is, it also reveals, the big issue with the way our voting system works right now, because the whole idea is that, the party members, everyone votes, and they choose the candidate. No, the party fucking decided it was going to be Hillary Clinton before the voting process even started.
Yeah.
They made up their own minds and made sure that's what happened, and that's a load of crap.
So, here is sort of the funny thing. I was doing some research and I found out that I am old enough to run for president during the next election. I have joked about running in 2020. I may actually do all of the necessary paperwork and shit to run in 2020. Because frankly, no matter who the hell wins, whether it be Trump, whether it be Hillary, I will look like a fucking god compared to either of them. Me, the foul-mouthed, horrifically opinionated douchebag, I would seem more presidential.
But Emer, we already have a foul-mouthed, opinionated douchebag. His name's Donald Trump.
I know, except I'm not that much of a fucking douchebag. I'm actually kind of sort of like a respectable douchebag.
Emer will make sure that every American citizen will get a free copy of Poultrygeist.
Oh, no. I am going to make sure that every single American has got a Blu-ray copy of Chicken Park.
Emer will... Fuck you. I'm not voting for you now.
Prevost 2020.
I cannot tolerate that. Emer, will you build the wall, though?
What's that one?
I will happily build a 2,000-foot wall around Trump Tower. Around Trump Tower. I will take Trump. I will take his plastic fugly wife. I will stick them in there. And I will then pour hot magma into the fucking box and laugh as they all die.
That seems extreme. But, you know.
You're right. It really doesn't have to be a 2,000-foot wall. It only has to be like a 500-foot wall.
And Mexico.
And Mexico will happily pay for it, yes. Because the only thing that I have to say is, but I'm going to stick the Trump family in there, and then I'm going to pour hot magma in. And they're going to go, if you throw in fucking Hillary also, deal. And I'll say, done.
But yeah, I'm just really angry at how Lincoln...
Emer will make Trump the first man on the sun. Yes! I will fire his... I will fire his ass by rocket directly to the goddamn sun.
It's like when I go to vote in November, I'll just be like, Democrats, I know you're playing, but I really just can't tolerate Trump. And y'all are lucky that Trump is the candidate, because literally anything else I would vote for over you right now. Like, they could have put any other one of the candidates they had this whole election process. I don't care, because I don't like Ted Cruz either. I would actually vote for him over Clinton at this point. I don't like him, but you know what? I gotta give Cruz one thing. I gotta give him this. The whole debate process, I didn't care for him at all. But then then they held the GOP convention, and that man, whose balls I didn't realize were that big, got on that stage and told Trump and his entire party to go fuck themselves.
Yes.
And that was awesome.
I love how his wife had to come out and confirm to everyone he was not a historical killer who had his killing in 5 years before Ted Cruz was actually fucking born.
I find that to be absolutely hilarious, is that Cruz had to publicly state, no, I am not the Zodiac Killer. I promise you I'm not for Rizzle, I'm not the Zodiac Killer, shut up.
Exactly what
That's exactly what the Zodiac Killer would say. But when he did that, with not supporting Trump, he probably nuked his entire political career by doing that. But at least I could say the man had some integrity. And that to me is more important sometimes than actually agreeing with him. Because, I didn't completely agree with a lot of what Bernie said either. But I liked Bernie more than anybody else because I didn't think he was bullshitting me.
At least until he publicly endorsed Hillary. Then kind of threw all of his, promises and beliefs, and I'm not for corruption all right out the fucking window. I think that there's my issue.
I don't think he was given much of a choice, though.
No, dude, he seriously had every single chance to do essentially what Cruz did, and said, "Fuck all of y'all, I'm done." And I would have fucking respected him a hell of a lot more. Instead, he's like, Do you happen to know this person I said was corrupt and terrible and horrible and evil and crooked? Vote for her.
To be fair, almost every single Republican candidate outside of Cruz did the same exact fucking thing.
I guess, yeah.
And Jeb. Jeb Bush didn't Trump either, so good for him too.
You think his family is disappointed in Jeb? Like, your brother won the election, he can't even speak English.
That really does suck, because I think Jeb would be a much better president than W was.
Dude,
would have been better than fucking...
I'm going to tell you right now, this empty fucking crystal fucking Pepsi bottle would have been a better president than fucking W. Alright? That's
I felt really bad for Jeb Bush, because if you actually listen to him, he was actually a pretty reasonable candidate from a platform perspective. Like, most of his opinions were not very... I think that was his problem. A lot of what he was saying was not hyper right-wing. it was actually leaning a bit towards the moderate side, and he actually sounded reasonable as a result. But apparently the GOP is full of nothing but irate, racist numbskulls who listen to Trump and is like, yeah, build the wall!
Well, see,
Yeah!
I honestly think that the real issue here, like, honest to God, is that both parties, this is totally a problem for both sides, is that neither side is trying to target moderates. Republicans are going after the farthest far right you can get, which means that they're going after the ignorant, incestual, redneck, racist douchebags who naturally are going to go for Trump because he's pretty much like family. And the Democrats are leaning for the far left social fucking justice feminist bullshit. So naturally they go for Hillary because she's a fucking woman. That's honest to God the only reason why most of those feminists and social justice warriors voted for her is because she is a woman.
But Emer, aren't you with her?
Say that again?
Aren't you with her?
No.
Aren't you?
No.
Well, if you're not with her, then you're with him.
No, I am frankly with neither because I'm a fucking moderate and fuck them both.
I'm so shocked that my fucking state had to be once again pants on head retarded, like when it came to the voting for the Republican side. Like,
okay, living corpse.
It's Ohio, Nick.
It's Ohio, so I shouldn't have expected much, but I would have kind of figured they would remember what Kasich did to our public school systems.
Okay, Living Corpse X, you have officially posted the greatest comment in the history of any of these streams. I take offense to that on behalf of us incesty folks. Not all of us are racists.
That's pretty funny.
It is. That is amazing.
Nick, in your state's defense, I would have taken him over Trump. He seemed like a nice guy.
Who? Kasich?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm actually amazed that Kasich stuck it out as long as he did. Like, just from a polls perspective, like, he never really, other than Ohio, I don't think he won a single state, but he stuck it out, like, just as long as Cruz did.
Mm-hmm.
But Truck sucks.
Yeah, he really does. So I'll probably have that copy of Doom in about a week. Amazon has to ship it and shit. Just so I thought I'd switch topics a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for that, because this is depressing.
Yes, I'm trying to find another question here that isn't about politics. Or about...
Now you got going.
Or about Emer fucking 2016. No, I don't know who my fucking running mate is going to be. I'm going to wait until I get to the convention before I announce that. And if either party wants to fucking gamble with me, by all means. After all, we could have the very first Indian president. Or, well, Native American president. Whatever the fuck.
Oh!
Same
it's
shit.
It's the first political gaffe! Quick! Major news coverage!
Yes! Fat man used Indian instead of Native American. Breaking news.
Now on Fox News. It's like, motherfucker.
I don't have any fucking reservations about being called Indian. Thank you for laughing at that, Josh.
You know, I could see you. I could see you having to respond to that kind of gap, and you would say that exact thing.
I totally would.
Just to be a dick.
Razor Fist should be my running mate. You know what? I am all for that. If he seriously wants to be my running mate, let's fucking do this. Hey, Emmer, I noticed you're not posting as many videos as before. Okay. Do you have plans for any new series? Not totally at the moment. I didn't know I was posting less, videos. Because when I was posting, the same amount, well, no, because the streams used to be a weekly thing. These streams, used to be a weekly thing. Then I was doing a weekly PlayStation 4 stream, and I haven't really done any PS4 streaming in a while. That's honestly just because I've been busy with work. That's... Shoe on Head should be the first lady. If she honestly is down to marry me, that's awesome. Because that's the only way that she'd be the first lady, and I'd be all for that. Anyway, because she's awesome. So let's see. I don't have any reservations about being called Indian. I love that. Honest to God, just popped into my head, and I just had to say it. It was just so perfectly timed. So let's see. What other questions are in here? I may have to scroll up a touch to find the ones that aren't about, presidential elections and Bernie and Ted Cruz and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Max Payne 3 requires a Rockstar Social Club account just to play the main game. Why?
You needed a social club account to play the online GTA 5.
Well, yeah, because that's the online. This here is just the main single player of Max Payne 3.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is beyond weird. That's fucking stupid.
Does that always online bullshit sometimes?
Let's see. Okay, someone here just posted, I have 100% proof that aliens exist. Click on my channel and watch the automatically playing video. No. How about no, pal? How about absolutely not? I am not falling for your stupid clickbait. Shut up. Thoughts on Leafy suing Keemstar?
Who? Okay.
So there are these two losers on YouTube named Josh and Nick. No, I'm kidding. No, they are... Leafy is here and Keemstar. Both of them make absolutely shit videos. I'm going to say that right now. They also both have retardedly massive fan bases. Apparently, Leafy is suing Keemstar over something. I don't know what. Really, I don't care, because they both suck. So, let's see, what else we got here? Same thing for GTA 5 single player. I don't remember having to sign into to the social club account for the single player of GTA 5, dude. Just saying. Hey, Emer, have you ever told Josh to get fucking good at Dark Souls? No. I didn't even know Josh played Dark Souls.
I don't.
Then get fucking good, apparently. So, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, guys, please, by all means, send in some more questions. Have you ever thought of buying Country Justice Revenge of the Rednecks? I believe that's a game on Steam.
Hey, Emer?
Yo.
Relevant point. You know Nick's not here, right?
Oh, he left? Well, son of a bitch. The fuck, Nick? Well, he must have just ducked. Well, he must have he must have just ducked out on us.
I hate it when he does that.
Yeah. He actually just kind of sort of like Gandalf, just randomly vanishes. So, thoughts on Country Justice Redneck, or Country Justice Revenge of the Rednecks. I believe that's a game on Steam. I don't know anything else about it beyond that. Your thoughts on Siskel and Ebert? They're both dead. Like, come on, like, what the hell else do you want me to say? They were both film critics. They were both incredibly entertaining, and they're both dead. I will say though that I believe it was who now which okay now which one was the second one to die? Was it Roger Ebert?
Ebert, yes.
Yeah, I can probably guess what Ebert's dying fucking words were though. He didn't have a lower jaw late in his life, you see. Your fucking silence is just glorious, dude.
There's nothing to say, Emmer.
I'm going to assume that he gave his death 2 thumbs up.
Shut the fuck up!
What?
Okay. I'm going to work in the morning, so I'm gonna head to bed, alright?
Alright, dude, man. Totally cool, man. I thank you, though, man, for coming out, because this has just been a lot of fun. Alright, dude.
Stream. Nice being here. Bye.
Yep, take care. See ya. And then there was one. And we've been going for like 2.5 hours, roughly. I think, let me double check that. Yes, we've been going for about 2.5 hours, so I think I'll answer like a couple more questions, maybe like two more questions, and then I'll probably close out the stream, because this honestly has been a lot of fun, but I actually I do kind of want to watch the rest of the Packer game, so. Let's see. Well, Duck is in the chat. Controls don't exist on PC, the enemy AI was horrible, and the realistic idea of fighting in close quarters was poorly designed at best. Not sure what he's talking about there. Honest to God, I have no earthly clue. Unless he's answering Johnster TV about, have you seen Life Itself? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Your favorite candy. Milk Duds. Milk Duds are awesome. Fucking love those things. So I can totally say that. Let's see. Oh, I think Duck was talking about Dark Souls. That's it. People were talking about Dark Souls. Your favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episode? I really don't have one. The reason why is because I didn't play a lot. I didn't watch a lot of Are You Fucking Afraid of the Dark. I think all told, watched about 4 episodes, and I just saw it, and I saw it honestly for what it was, and that was basically Tales. It was basically Tales from the Crypt for kids. And because I'd seen a lot of the more adult shows like that. I mean, guys, I fucking grew up in the 80s. I saw a ton of stuff like old episodes of The Twilight Zone, or Monsters, or Tales from the fucking Dark Side, or Tales from the Crypt. So when I saw Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I saw how watered down it was compared to those, it just didn't really catch me much. Will I review the Goosebumps movie if it's mailed to me? Probably not. That's why I haven't put it on the wish list, because I don't care about the Goosebumps movie. I guess that's just me. Do I think Pokemon Go is just another fad? Kind of, yes. Granted, now it is a fun fad. And it's going to probably still be active like, or I should say at least marginally active, as long as they continue to pump out more fucking generations of Pokemon. Because I've heard that they're putting out the Gen 2 Pokemon within the next month, which would be amazing, because I'm sick and tired of running into only, Pidgeys and rats, and very little else. So it would be fun for them to put out, like, the Gen 2 Pokemon, if for no other reason than it would give us a little bit more to find. So, but yeah, it seriously is going to fade and vanish. It is pretty much guaranteed to. So, what is your favorite what's your favorite Cronenberg film minus Scanners? Actually, Scanners I think is like the only one I've actually seen. Hang on a minute, let me just look it up. David Cronenberg. Because I can't think of any other films of his I've seen. Like, I know for a fact that I haven't seen The Fly. So, I can't even comment on that one. So, let's see, what is all in here? Consumed, The Nest, Map to the Stars, Cosmopolis, Eastern Promises, History of Violence, Existenz, Crash, and Butterfly, Naked Lunch, Skills of Justice, Dead Ringers. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, Videodrome. I've seen Videodrome and Scanners. Between those two, oh boy, I'd probably have to say Scanners. Now mind you, neither of them were really, great. But I mean, like, neither of them are, like, relatively amazing or great, but they weren't terrible by any sense, so. Oh boy, and Jesus with Bazookas is insisting that I watch a video. God damn it. I swear to God, dude, this seriously had better not be shit. Otherwise, Oh, yeah, it's your Milkman trailer. Again, I'll pass. Okay. Do you think VR is going to move forward in the gaming age, or will it be the next motion fucking control? It's going to be the new motion control, dude. I know that, you know that. The very fact that now everyone's talking about, like, VR, and a whole lot of these VR setups apparently are coming with motion controls. That just says that they're not really doing much. So I really don't think it's going to be a move forward, because there's not much you can really do with VR. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. It's like, outside of, like, horror games and, like, roller coaster sims, there's really not much else that can be improved by VR. So, do I care for award shows? I do not care about award shows in the slightest. The reason is because I know that most of these awards have essentially been bought and sold long before the show happens. So I basically know that the Oscars are pretty much a fucking joke. The Grammys are a fucking joke. Of course, every single one of the real shallow ones, such as the the Video Game Awards, the VMAs, it's like the Teen Choice Awards. All this shit means nothing. They literally mean jack fucking shit, and it's always kind of sad whenever people put a whole lot of stock in these goddamn trophies. It's like, I really don't see the point when oftentimes we have these people who are winning these awards for shit that doesn't really deserve it. Scorsese got his best fucking director Oscar for directing a shitty remake of a shitty Asian film. So, he didn't fucking get it for anything that mattered. He got it for probably one of his shittiest films. What about the fucking Nobel prizes? What about them? Look, dude, I'm not talking about shit like the Nobel Prize. I'm talking about entertainment awards. Because you really can't name anything else outside of the fucking Nobel Prize that actually, looks at honest to God worthy fucking accomplishments and hands them out. Let's see. But yeah, guys, I swear to God, award shows are just a waste of fucking time. Alright? And I'm going to tell you right now. Alright? I don't care what the hell wins the Oscar for Best fucking Picture on whatever given fucking year. Because it's not going to cause me to want to watch a movie any more or any fucking less, alright? The artist won the Best Picture Oscar a couple of years ago. I had zero interest in watching it beforehand. I had the same level of disinterest after it fucking won. You know, I really don't care about who wins and who loses, because ultimately that isn't going to magically change the quality of the film. So, let's see if we can find one final question to close out on. And by the way, for anyone who's curious, the Packer game is still fucking going. I believe actually the game is almost over. Because they're showing the NFL copy. No, it's actually only in the third, but they were showing all the NFL copyright shit already at the bottom of the screen. That's calling it a little bit early there, guys. Anyway, which Faces of Death films have I seen? All 4 of them. I absolutely refuse to count Faces of Death 5 and Faces of Death 6, because those 2 are made specifically for a German audience, made up of whatever footage they could actually show to a German audience. The previous Faces of Death films had been banned in Germany. And I refuse to count the worst of Faces of Death, because it, similar to Faces of Deaths 5 and 6, is just nothing more than a clip show of previous shit. And the Faces of Death mockumentary, Faces of Death Fact or Fiction, is just basically them continuing to play up the fictional fucking narrative of their mysterious fucking director. That barely counts as anything. But when it comes to the Faces of Death movies that matter, I've seen all 4 of them. I really wish they would put out 2, 3, and 4 on Blu-ray, because it's kind of sad that I only have the first one. Do you realize that there's people uploading Let's Plays and full movies to Pornhub? Why? Why in the hell? So if I wanted to find a movie, I'd just go over to Pornhub and look. God, that just sounds weird. Do you think it would be difficult to make a comic company to rival big names like Marvel and DC, as well as Image, Valiant, and even Top Cow nowadays? Probably yes, if you were trying to form a company. I really don't see the reason why you would want to start a new comic book company when your best bet is to just try to when your best bet is to just try to, get work from any of the previously named companies, because you could probably get work at Marvel and DC pretty easily. Valiant, you might have a bit of a hard time breaking into. You could probably get into like Dynamite or Boom Studios pretty easily. Image, does Image even publish anything that isn't the fucking Walking fucking Dead or Spawn anymore? Somebody uploaded Zootopia and Shrek 2 to Pornhub. Okay. I understand that Zootopia is adored by furries, but, well, I guess if they honestly are going to beat off to it, then why not just put it on Pornhub and give it to them there? I don't rightly know. What would I do to improve the film industry? I would violently cut down on remakes, reboots, sequels, and tentpole block fucking buster films. You see, guys, this summer has taught us something when it comes to movies. It has taught us that you cannot have a summer of nothing but tentpole block fucking busters, because you are going to have a lot of bombs. Boy howdy, there have been a ton of bombs this year. It honestly doesn't matter if we are talking about how bad Ghostbusters did in theaters, or how bad, what the hell, God, like, damn near everything else, guys, has just been, I mean, there have only been a couple of big hits. It's like TMNT 2 failed to, really pull in anything. See, there's so many fucking heroes in it, it barely counts as a Captain America film. Civil War was good, but seeing as on how Disney was willing to mark off Avengers as a failure after pulling down $1 billion, I really think we can mark off Civil fucking War also as a failure. There have been just so many films this summer that have just done terribly because they really just think that everybody wants remakes, they want sequels, they want reboots, they want prequels, they want this, they want this, they want this. We need to severely cut down on a lot of this shit. Alright, because when I happen to look at what is coming to theaters and almost everything has got a fucking number on it, or something's got, I then have no interest in going. We can also probably cut back, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm the big comic book fan. We need to cut back on the number of comic book movies that are coming out. Because when I saw the list of shit that Marvel and DC and Sony Marvel, Sony, DC, and Fox had fucking announced up through like 2022, and it was something like 28 fucking movies, I'm like, that's too many. Okay? I liked the idea of Batman v Superman. I still haven't watched it. I like the idea of a Justice League movie. As for the solo films, I can totally see Wonder Woman. I can totally see Green fucking Lantern. I could maybe even see a Cyborg film being good. Aquaman? Why the fuck are we wasting 2 hours on DC's shittiest hero? Okay? The Flash. He already has a TV show. We really don't need a movie muddying all of this. So we can cut most of those. Marvel, Jesus fuck Marvel, you have got to tone it back a little bit, okay? I understand that they want to make as many superhero films as possible, and they want the fucking MCU to just be this big, wide, burgeoning thing. But really, we didn't need Guardians of the Galaxy. We didn't need a movie based on a fifth-rate superhero team. Because frankly, it sucked when DC did that with the fucking losers. It seemed stupid when you did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. The very fact that smoking turd is getting a sequel is nothing short of sad. Doctor Strange, very fascinating character. I don't think Doctor Strange is worthy of a full-blown film. Inhumans, I know, had their film pretty much canceled, which is really a great thing because there's not much you can really do with that property specifically. Before the announcement of the Spider-Man fucking reboot, there was going to be a Spider-Man 3. There was going to be a Sinister Six film. There was going to be a Venom standalone film. And none of that sounded fascinating at first. It still doesn't sound good now. But of course, all of that got dumped by the wayside when they announced that they were doing the Homecoming reboot. Let's see. It is good to hear that. It is good to hear that Avengers 3 is getting whittled down to one film instead of two. That is definitely a positive. But still, there is then that giant just pile of shit that is coming. And I don't really, here, guys, is sort of the problem. And this is something that is kind of sort of fitting, because we're talking about comic book movies. The reason why the comic book market all but died in the late 90s was because of oversaturation. Because there were too many books out, and there weren't enough people buying them. And interest died, because there was just so much shit. And with DC, Marvel, Sony, and apparently now fucking Russia jumping in on this with their fucking Guardians movie that the trailer came out for. With these and numerous others, there are comic book movies and superhero films just coming out of every orifice and pore. Eventually, people are going to get tired of them. And the box office is going to dwindle with every passing film. And I'm not saying that as me saying we need to just shut down all comic book films. I'm saying we need to be a touch more selective with with what properties get turned into a movie. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I love Punisher as a character. Out of the 3 Punisher movies that have been made, there was one that I actually liked. Alright? Ghost Rider as a character is great. The movies are watchable. But I don't think we should see another one. The fact that they've made 2 Hulk movies, neither of them were particularly good. And it has gotten to a point where they can't even give Hulk a solo film. He has to, co-star in Thor's goddamn movie. Excuse me. That just speaks volumes. There are too many heroes, there's too many films, and I guarantee you eventually interest is going to die. And when it does, I don't want to hear people fucking complaining to me, because I'm stating it right now. Alright, I think it's time for us to have a new fucking renaissance. A new, cinematic renaissance. Because the era of the comic book hero is just, it is quickly fading. And I don't care if we move on to old style 80s sort of action flicks. I don't care if we're talking about kaiju films. I don't care if it's like a whole new slew of slasher flicks. We need something. We need something new. Well, new-ish. And we need it soon. Because I don't think Hollywood can deal with another summer as disappointing as this one. Because yes, you can point to BVS and Deadpool and Civil War and a few other films and say, well, all of these made mountains and mountains of bank. But you then look at everything else, and everything else is just a colossal bomb. Where movies that would normally, under most circumstances, have been moderate hits are failing miserably because they are in direct competition with 7 other $150 million films. Most of these are guaranteed to fail. Excuse me. One other thing I would fix with Hollywood is I would slim down the budgets on some of these movies, because I'm telling you right now, we don't need a few dozen $100+ million movies in theaters. I just mentioned that Russian superhero movie that is coming out. That thing apparently was made on a budget of $20 million, and it looks like a $180 million film. All right, I covered a movie for Reaction and Review years ago, and it was called My Bloody Wedding, which was made, I believe, for it was either $1,200 or $12,000. It looks like it was made for a fuckload more. You don't need a big budget. You need people who know what to fucking do on nothing. And when you find those people, then you know that you have found something great. You need people who know how to make films at low budgets, because then you're saving tons. Suicide Squad needs $600 million to break even when you factor in marketing. That is exactly what I am talking about. There is no way in fuck a movie should have to make that much in order to break even. Once more, I can point at the fact that Disney said that the fucking Avengers, which pulled in over $1 billion worldwide in box office, was considered a failure. Because we had the budget, we had the marketing, and we had the fact that theaters have to take their cut of the box office. So, yeah. Hollywood, guys, has to be fixed, and it has to be fixed in a huge, huge way. And it honestly is not going to be a quick fix. It has to be something that will be done gradually. And the sooner that these studios wise up, the sooner that they start fixing all of this, the better. So, let's see. What else have we got here? No more Adam Sandler films. Well, I believe that is why Sandler's last film went direct to Netflix, didn't it? Anyway, okay. Which one do you prefer, tits or ass? I honestly am more of an ass man than anything else, but frankly, I honestly don't want either of them to be, massive. I think that there's sort of the thing is that there's decent size and then there's freakishly huge, and I don't want either of those to be freakishly huge. So, 2016 in general has been oversaturated with sequels. Well, sequels, reboots. I believe actually there have been a couple of fucking prequels in there. Really, it's just been oversaturated with shit. That's kind of sort of the easiest way of putting it. Now, I understand, I've said this a few times, but I'm going to take one more question, because my voice is starting to go out, because I've been dealing with this cold for almost a week. It was probably a bad idea to sit here and try to talk for almost 3 solid hours, but, I fucking do what I do. He has an 8-movie deal with Netflix. Oh, fuck me dead. Adam Sandler's got an 8-movie deal with Netflix. Well, Duck, I thank you, because that now gives me even more reason to not bother with Netflix. What's my favorite movie of this year so far? You mean my favorite movie of 2016 that I've seen so far? I haven't seen a lot, dude. Fuck. I actually may not have seen any movies from this year. Because I'm going to tell you guys, what with work and everything else, I haven't had time to really watch much. As much as I like to talk about as much as I like to talk in my reaction reviews, I'm going to go and watch this next. Unfortunately, that almost never happens. So, have I watched anything from 2016? I don't think so. Damn. Yeah, I really don't think I've seen anything from this year yet. I mean, I've wanted to watch Deadpool. I've wanted to watch BVS. I haven't had the opportunity to watch either of those. Actually, Deadpool was from last year, wasn't it? I could have sworn that one came out around Christmas. I could easily be fucking wrong, though. Excuse me. Let me just let me crush this empty bottle here. Alright. But yeah, I don't think I've seen anything from this year yet, so I don't really have one. I've been too busy with other things. And somebody asked, this was probably about like an hour ago, if next month's reaction and review is going to be the remake month. No, because next month is September. I've always set aside September as Longbox Chronicles month. So yeah, I can tell you guys right now. Oh yes, Deadpool came out around Valentine's Day. My bad. I guess I can say this because I'm sick of people asking me. Remake month, or my month where I'm going to focus entirely on remakes, November. Okay? You guys can totally stop asking. November. So. Excuse me. Okay. So, have I seen American Psycho? No, but I have read the book. I found the book to be kind of dull, though. So, the best thing about Marvel, in your opinion, is Pinball is Pinball FX2. I would totally say that, if not for the fact that Ultimate Alliance and Ultimate Alliance 2 came out on the PS4, and even though the ports are kind of shit, it's still Ultimate Alliance and Ultimate Alliance 2. I will totally take a little bit of shit, so. You would love to see another Trauma month. Well, I would need enough Trauma movies to actually make a month. Right now, I've got like 4. I also have 4 films from Full Moon. I've actually thought about doing like a crossover month. It would be like Trauma versus full fucking Moon, where every other episode is either a Trauma film or a Full Moon film. And because I'm running low on DC animated films, I'm going to tell you guys right now, January is going to be a Marvel versus DC month, where I'm going to alternate between DC's animated films and Marvel's animated films, because I bought a 8-movie Marvel Blu-ray set specifically to cover some of them for reaction and review. So yay. So still waiting on that one final question. I'm just gonna find like one last big question, then I'm gonna just close it out because again, I probably shouldn't be talking for 3 solid hours. Excuse me, which is exactly what I fucking have done today. Let's see. And while I wait on that final question, last call on that, guys. By the way, last call for questions. For those of you who missed out when I mentioned it earlier, because I've only mentioned this on the Facebook page and nowhere else, I do have a Patreon account. If you guys want to help me out on that, because I know a lot of you asked about if I was going to open a Patreon page or not, and I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now that the Patreon is specifically there as more of a tip jar than anything else. So it doesn't have any goals. It doesn't have any like milestones. If you guys just want to like pledge, by all means, go for it. Just go to patreon.com/EmerPrevost and you'll be all set there. So, let's see. Thoughts on modern horror movies. Here we go. This right here is a perfect question to close out on. Thoughts on modern horror movies. You know, I haven't really seen a lot of modern horror movies, and that's because the ads and the trailers and everything, they just don't look that interesting. Because I have a coworker who absolutely swears by, oh, what the hell is that one movie? The fucking Conjuring. And he says that The Conjuring is, like, the best thing ever. And I haven't seen it. I really just don't care to see it. It doesn't look that interesting. I've had people tell me I should totally check out like Sinister, and there was one other one too. It was Sinister and in fucking Insidious. I should check out both those. I don't have any interest in seeing those either. The last great horror movies I saw, and I barely count them as horror because there was nothing frightening about them, was the Saw series. And even though I can talk about the weaker Saw entries, they're still fun, and I definitely had a great time with those. I think maybe it's because I just love the 80s, the like 80s horror slasher stuff. I absolutely love like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and the original Child's Play films. I love those. I loved watching Stephen King's It on TV. Just, these were amazing movies, and today I'm not seeing anything that even comes close to that. Excuse me. So, you know, it seriously, guys, is not that I hate modern horror, it's just I'm not interested in it. I'm not really interested in seeing a lot of it because most of it doesn't seem to... Because most of it just doesn't seem to be interesting at all. You know, and that's really about all I can say is that I don't see anything of interest in theaters. I mean, granted, like, when I open up like Horror Pack every month, and I see things in there like Scar, and I see Scar 3D, that sounds like it might be kind of sort of interesting. I actually was reading the back, that sounds like it might be decent. You know, and I see stuff like that. I see stuff like Volumes of Blood, or digging up the Marrow, stuff that nobody's fucking heard of, and I think that sounds like it might be rather decent. It sounds better than The Conjuring. It sounds better than, you know, Mama. It sounds better than Insidious. It sounds better than Sinister. Probably because, again, we sort of go back to the whole Hollywood system of just things have to be ultra safe. Things have to be ultra, you know, like box office safe, so nobody's willing to take any chances. And horror is about taking chances. Okay, horror films are about taking risks and taking challenges. Hitchcock took a ton of risks when he was making The Birds. He had no idea if The Birds was going to work or not. Hitchcock took risks when he made fucking Psycho. and Psycho wound up becoming a masterpiece. Okay, you have to take risks. You have to be willing to try something new. Saw was willing to try something new, and then it repeated that process 7 times. That's totally cool. At least it tried something different, because most other horror films at the time weren't doing, like traps and all that kind of shit. Saw made that work. Hostel tried something a little bit different, and they made it work. Today, I'm not really seeing that. I'm seeing a bunch of boring, tired shit. And when they are trying something different, it's like, oh, it's a ghost story over Skype. And that just sounds retarded. That one there, I guess, is like a case of taking a fucking risk and just having it turn out for shit. But yeah, guys, there is a lot of problems with modern horror, mind you, and these are problems that I have. These aren't general fucking locked in problems. They're just things that I notice that bother me and that they don't interest me any. So, and on that 5-minute diatribe about horror films, I saw one guy. He must have asked at least 5 times now my thoughts on Archer season 7. I don't watch Archer on TV. I don't, because I never know when in the fuck it's on. So I just wait until the seasons come out on Blu-ray. Since Archer season 7 is not out on Blu-ray, I don't have any thoughts. Okay? Just sort of thought I'd share that, and I'm going to go relax for a bit. I'm gonna finish watching the Packer game. Right now, the Packers are winning 21 to 10. Oh, thank God! Don't mind me. I was just paying a little bit of fucking attention because almost caught that pass. Anyway, that's just me whinging about the fucking game. This, honestly, guys, has been a lot of fun. I certainly hope to do this again very, very soon. I would like to thank Josh for joining me for most of it. I'd like to thank Nick for joining us for all of about 5 fucking minutes. All of that was really fun, guys, and hopefully I will see you all later. Take care, guys. See ya.